cookie cutters, God gave you a nose to breathe with so you can keep your mouth shut. Welcome to the podcast.
Starting the Delray Misfits podcast, episode 76, and I have the blast from the past, current and future freak. At his age, I saw him recently, I was astounded. It's Big Larry.
Hello.
Welcome, Larry.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'll be 64 in September.
No shit.
I know, right? I know. I love bragging about it now.
Yeah,
I think he looks younger than me.
He does.
Well, actually, somebody said that at the gym the other day.
Yeah.
They said, "Who is that? Your dad?" No, I said, "That's
How long have you been in South Florida?
22 years.
Okay.
22 years. I moved here a year and a half before 9/11. I worked in the World Trade Center for like 7 years before I moved here. Been here for 22 years. Beautiful place. I mean, I got out of New York for the right, not like because of de Blasio and Cuomo.
Right.
I got because I wanted to see palm trees and girls that are in magazines. Yeah.
And some of the girls I saw accompany Larry at the gym were 12s.
I paid for those.
The kind of girls that me and Andrew would think about in our beds.
Yeah, which made me really nervous. There was that one time I let you bodyguard my girlfriend. It made me very nervous.
Yeah,
I thought you would have children that look like you two.
We were very respectful of women back then because we were so shy, which is good.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
When did you meet Lenny when you first came down here?
Man, it was awesome. We started training at the World's Gym on Atlantic Avenue, which to me, and that was Jim Willard. You know, I love Jim Willard. He had the best gyms ever. So I trained. I used to train on Golds on Federal Highway near Yamato.
Mike Quinn owned that.
Yes. And what happened is that closed down for renovations.
That was on Spanish River and Federal, right?
No, that was another gym. I forget the name of that. But the Mike Quinn gym was the old Corey. It was Corey Everson gym, and then it became a Gold's gym, and that's where I trained when I went down. They renovated it, and then I went to. Somebody said you got to try this World's gym. It was a ride, but I went there at that time, and I was like, my God, it was like gym heaven. I never saw anything. The guy built the best gyms, anatomically correct equipment. 4 of these, 3 of these, all different types.
And for all the maniacs, that's the old World Gym we always reference. Where I met you, Collura, Big Richard, Saul.
Which is now Planet Fitness.
Unfortunately, there wasn't any filming done back then because we would have went viral.
So here's what happens. I go in the gym. I was competing, and these 2 monsters came into the gym. I mean, they were, and I was I was dieting, so I was about 260, 270. So he walks in. He's about 4 what? How big were you?
About 440.
About 440, and Andrew was about what, 350?
At 5'9", yeah.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, it was amazing. So they walk in, and I'm watching them train, and I trained very heavy, and I needed a partner for certain exercises. So we just became friends. They were both beyond quiet. I actually thought they were mutants, and they didn't talk, but we trained, and like we would be the only guys in the gym squatting 605, 650, leg pressing maybe 40 plates on the leg press, 45 plates, putting people on top of the leg press. It was awesome. Great stories from that also.
Yeah, Larry said whatever he wanted to get fired up. He didn't care.
Yeah.
Who was listening, and if they wanted to get in his face, he would want it to happen.
Oh, no. I made fun of everybody
But
there.
I'll say, you were also one of the nicest guys in that gym.
Yeah.
Because I always used to walk by you and say hi. You were always very friendly. You're biggest dude there, but you're also always very friendly, too.
That's important to me. I'll be honest with you. I'm like that today. So I have a million, you guys saw me recently.
Yeah.
A million people come up. If I'm at the gym, it gets me half hour to get started between the 16-year-old kids and the people I know my age.
Yeah.
But, you try to do that. You want to influence yourself on the young guys. Well, Lenny's been doing it. You guys been doing that lately at the gym when I see you.
Recently. It took us a lot to get out of our shell, and I'm trying to think what it was. We just had low self-esteem because I guess maybe in my case, my father was ex-pro football player, beat me down my whole life.
Yeah, you were very quiet, man. You were so quiet. For your size, it was just, but it had a mystique about it. It did have a mystique about it. And Andrew was your, little brother or whatever you want to say. He was the same way.
Yeah. I hooked up with him because I saw this 17-year-old repping 365 on a flat bench natural. And we got on a little gear, little D-ball test, and he was adding a plate a week to his deadlifts because he had no back. And he would do everything to keep up with me, and most of the stuff he was beating me on already.
Right.
But he went from doing a plate on deadlifts to 4 or 5 months later repping 7 plates off the floor.
I remember it. And you know what, his body
grew 4 inches in that period.
His body was built for it, though.
Yeah.
His limbs were perfect.
And his diet, he had good home-cooked Italian food.
But I'll let your diet, when you guys were gaining weight, I'll give you a good story. So one time, I'm leaving the gym. They're in a parking lot, and Lenny's on his bike. and which was awesome. It was like a circus animal, like the bear on the
Like
bike.
the bear.
It's what it looked like, like a circus animal. No shirt on, hairy, just the circus animal. And like cars used to hit each other on the street when he drove by. They couldn't. Hey, some escaped. So we're in the parking lot, and I always would go outside with them, and you had the truck, and we'd sit on the tailgate. Remember?
Yeah.
And they would break out gallons of milk and eat bars of butter.
Because of the fats.
In the heat.
They
They had to eat it before it melted.
And everybody thought I would have a heart attack. Cardiologists where I worked at the hospital would warn me all the time. And here I am at 51. Now, diabetes maybe, but, I don't think all that fat's as bad as it
Yeah, but
is.
we didn't have, don't forget, Elaine, we had nowhere near the supplements or all the knowledge that these young kids have today or the bodybuilders today.
It's like they're less intense.
Yeah.
First time I saw Larry, he had the shorts and tank top on. He looked bigger than the Ultimate Warrior.
That was big.
ripped. Stand out. I mean, talk about the look. A guy 6'4". I know you probably shrunk an inch.
Yeah, of course we do.
And you're about close to 280, and your body fat couldn't have been any more than 8%.
Yeah, I attribute when I was looking that good to John Defendus, because he was, we became best friends. I met him at the gym. He started training me. Man, the knowledge he bestowed upon me. Like, we would train like maniacs, just throw everything on the bar and just try to break something, like you guys did a couple of times.
And you can see Larry's kept that muscle.
Yeah, it's hard.
I noticed guys training that way keep the muscle. Greg Valentino being one of them, trained under Defendus.
Yep.
What do you attribute that to? Genetics or?
So
your
listen, I'm going to
supplements?
be honest with you. I'm not a bodybuilder. I did it for me. I was an athlete, and once you get to a certain point as an athlete, what do you have to challenge yourself with? So I challenged myself with weightlifting, and then a show would be to challenge myself to see how good I could do. It wasn't how good I could compete at do a first or a second or win a show. It was just for me to get in shape at a certain age. So I did them at 40. I did the Mr. New York Natural, and I actually won it at 40. Then I came down here and started competing. Lenny was with me at 48. I did the Delray Beach. Oh, no, it was the West Palm I won. I was 257 on stage at 48.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, that's when Defenders trained me. And I did the Southern States, which I didn't do that well because I was the last show I knew I ever could do because I had to get hip surgery. And so I just did it. I didn't do well. I was in the top 10, maybe 6th or 7th. But I could have done a lot better if I was healthy. But I did it for the love of it. You know what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with, like you guys did. I mean, you guys did it for the love of it, man. What competition? You guys were in that one bench press thing that one time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you went into a bench press just so you guys could, because they would bench the world, but they never went into a competition. No shirts, which I admire. They did raw.
Andrew, when he did a 650 with a pause, he didn't even have a wrist wrap or belt on. And he got up off the bench like a regular person would get off a toilet. It just didn't matter.
He flew up.
Yeah, it didn't. He
It flew up.
He wasn't impressed, but I still call it one of the best bench presses in the history of the world.
Yeah, you
No
should get people to reference
specialization.
that tape. Yeah, I don't think people have seen that tape.
No, a lot of people
Andrew was
have.
lucky.
Oh, you have?
YouTube channel.
Because that you want to see power, man. I mean, today the guys, and let me tell you something, the gear, I mean, it wasn't like, I was taking a lot of gear. These guys were taking a lot of gear. I don't even know about half this stuff these guys took. We just took such basic things.
Maybe we ask you your cycle that you can remember as best from back then.
I'll tell you, it was so simple.
Until
man.
now.
You have guys training you. Just test, DECA, far out, just with some weight on. Maybe you switch from DECA to equipoise. And then when you get closer to the show, you stay on your test, bring it down with some Winstrol, Anavar, and stuff like that. But it was, low dosages. After I did one show with Defendus, had another woman who was actually in Miss Olympia and took second a couple of years in a row. She put me on a thing. She gave me a cycle she wanted me to put on. And I swear to God, it was a scroll of drugs. I couldn't, first, when I can't pronounce something, I ain't taking it.
It's a good rule to have.
And other than your hip replacement, how well is that going?
That was a nightmare. So after that show, we did the hip replacement, and this is to everybody out there. If you ever get a prosthetic put in, make sure when you find a good surgeon, but find what kind of materials they're putting in your body, what kind of foreign materials they're going to put in your body. With me, back then, they had the metal on metal hip, and they put it in me when I was 50 and told me to do my thing. And it literally rubbed together and disintegrated in my body. And it caused, my blood was about 10% cobalt and chromium, so I almost died from it.
Oh, shit.
So when they took it out, I was totally rotted on the inside out. I had about 3 years ago, 4 major surgeries within a 9-month period, and almost died of staph and Klebsiella pneumonia at one time. So, yeah, so when you have a knee done, or anybody, all the older guys out there, make sure they know what the fuck they're putting in. Can I say that? Yeah, make sure they know what, because I get a little emotional with that, because it really changed my whole life.
And what way?
Don't forget, you when you get hurt like that mentally, when you're always training, you're training, you always want to look good. You never want to not look good. So having prosthetic hip, and also I was on a walker for a year and a half, and I had a PICC line in my left arm for 6 months, which is I had to have antibiotics put in me twice a day. So I had all this stuff in me. It was just humiliating personally because I had to go through all that personally. But the people in the gym were the biggest motivating thing to me. They would get more motivated me walking in on a walker every day and training the best I could.
That's great, man.
So they were the best. That's why the gym family thing, like we're friends forever, right? I know I ran into a couple of guys here on the podcast. We haven't seen each other, but we all know each other. It's a cult. It's a family.
But those were the days back then.
Oh,
the person.
God.
We learned a lot from you. As a man, you're the opposite of what they call beta males. The millennials are. They're so feminine, and they let women run the show.
Well, you see that a lot now, and the gyms have changed so much since back. Now it's like I went to Delray today. It's like a fucking fashion show.
Yeah,
it's a lot. There's no intensity. They got all wear their special
it's the phones,
matching
bro.
clothes.
It's the phones.
Yeah.
The phones.
Reluctantly, we have to use the phone now to make a living. But
No, it's different when you're filming a podcast, Rob. I know.
I didn't like it at first when kids were bringing out that. I didn't like it one bit.
We didn't talk when us three trained together. It was trying to catch our breath, first of all, from the weight we were using, and then, re-gearing up, re-wrapping up and stuff like that. But it's the phones, man. They're the music, the texting. They could sit on a piece of equipment for 10 minutes and then start up again. That's why they're never going to, without drugs, they're never going to achieve a good look at all. Everything's dependent on drugs. It's a shame. Old school, kids, you get online, look at the old school bodybuilders, good friends of mine like Mike Quinn, Defendus. These guys did like that kind of things on like nothing,
Yeah.
They were amazing. They trained like maniacs, though.
Larry, any chance of you doing an over 70 a little bit down the road?
Wow. Wow. Maybe I can go into that wheelchair competition at Sunshine. By that time. What's that? You can make it by 6 more years. Let me tell you something. If I was any type of shape, I would. I still have my ass, which I know most guys at 60 pull their asses around their knees.
Before you two ran into each other in a gym a few weeks ago, when's the last time you guys saw each other?
I saw.
And who recognized who?
I was actually Andrew Collura.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I recognize that.
You're kidding me, right?
I think it was 2007 at the World Gym that we filmed at. Larry told me he was going back to working with John DeFennis again.
So you used to go to Delray Fitness a little bit.
The Delray LA Fitness?
The World Gym where we filmed at.
That's where I lived. That's where we met. I mean,
across the street when it moved.
Oh, no. Yes, I did.
World Gym,
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yes, I did.
I saw Larry was in the parking lot.
Yes, that's where we saw each other in the parking lot. I was getting ready for a show. Yeah. Yep, that's where we saw each other. Then I was training with Defenders. Absolutely right. So that was he's right.
It's been a long time, but I had a lot of people, Louie and Donnie from the Muscle Store always give me updates on you. They tell me about your condition. And when I saw you virtually with 90% of your mass, maybe more that you had back in the day, I was like, wow, what a great recovery.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting
it was a diet. I got married 11 years ago to a girl named Kirsten Heradic. And when I got married to her, she was competing. And she took second in Miss USA that year as a lightweight and took second that year in the Nationals as a middleweight.
Yeah, she is now.
So she's off the chain. And I have a younger wife. She eats perfect. She's actually 18 years younger than me if she's listening to this. I always brag about that. That's what happens, guys, when you look good at my age.
There you go. There you go.
18 years.
Yeah. Well, every girl no, not every girl, honey. But no.
I thought Brad had the record with the youngest girl.
How old?
Girl's what, 29? You're 43?
Yeah.
Oh, I crushed that, man. Brad crushed that.
I'm the opposite. My girlfriend's 49.
So you're the smartest one here. That makes you the smartest
Your girl
one.
looks good. Portuguese 20. She looks in her 20s.
So you're a boy
Got hell of
toy. You're a boy toy.
Yeah.
No,
Hold on. Really? You're not even going to say that? Unless she's, homeless?
I'm not driving around in her BMW. Let's put it that way.
All right. If you ask, you can.
I'm already saying too much in case.
See that? You got to edit
You
it.
get that Shawn Michaels music. He's just a boy toy.
I just watched that on TV the other day. That bio.
You still watch wrestling?
I do. I like what they have on right now. They have all these bios of all the old wrestlers.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Randy Savage I had on the other day, Roddy. I haven't seen one on Stinger yet, but I had the one on Andre, which I thought was the best one.
Now, did you wrestle?
No. I had a chance. I blew it, man.
But you know all these guys, right?
What happened is that there was a gym in California where I lived there. I lived in Cali for about 9 years. And I was dating a girl, and her brother-in-law was Sting, the wrestler. So Sting was just starting, and he was very shy. He didn't know what to do in front of the mic, so I used to tutor him, like yell and scream and stop looking into the camera type of thing. And he started picking it up. And then he said to me, "Come on, Larry, come with me. Me and you could be tag team partners." I was like, and I was doing so well in the stock market at the time. I was like, man, there ain't no money in that. Like an idiot.
I get it though, because if you can make money without risking putting your body on the line like that, why do it?
But you could still do the stocks, but the fame though, you know?
Yeah. Well, think about bodybuilding. I mean, even weightlifting for your whole life. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I still had a hip replacement, and my knee hurts.
To me, you look more impressive than the Ultimate Warrior in your 40s.
Well, he was amazing. We trained at Stanford Golds, where all the WWF guys trained. That's why I lived for about 2 years in Stanford, and they were all there every day. I saw them all every day.
That's great.
Well, that's where the WWF has their headquarters, right on 95. And before they built their internal gym, they let everybody train at Gold's Gym in Stanford, and it was an awesome gym too, another awesome gym. But I mean, you walk in, you got the Road Warriors, you had Ultimate Warrior, you had you had all the bodybuilders. We talked about Danny Padilla the other day. They had all the bodybuilders with there. Jim Quinn, they were all there. Stridham, what a gym that was! It was insane.
What a federation that was. They had their own TV show, and I guess the general public didn't catch on, but I loved it.
Oh man, yeah. But again, we're junkies.
Yeah.
And wrestling was. I do still watch wrestling, but they're so unbelievably acrobatic. I've never seen that. They're not as. You can't be as big as Lex Luger or some of the guys back then and do all the what's his name, Magnificent Morocco. Remember him? Oh my God. I mean, that guy was. Imagine him doing a somersault off the top rope. Snooker?
Yeah, I liked that back then. Those guys scared me.
No, they were terrifying. Those guys were terrifying.
They put the fear of God in me.
The Undertaker, when he was really the Undertaker? Come on, man.
Would you swallow a load before you came here?
No, I saw that cellulitis.
Oh, it's causing mucus in your throat?
Yeah. I got off the antibiotics, but
How'd that go? How did your doctor appointment go?
it was pretty bad. The blood sugar was 360, so I got out of the insulin. And I'm concerned that's causing a lot of withering away at the muscle, so I got to get that under control. It's very depressing.
Almost, but it's hard. Again, we're talking about it's just hard to accept your body.
That's what I get
changing.
for being over 400 pounds. Made myself insulin resistant during that period, and now you're going to pay the price.
Well, everyone that does this, like at a young age, it's a temporary high. You're going to fall fucking apart.
Well, what did your doctor recommend you do for the blood sugar?
Increase the insulin dosage, which I'm doing.
What about diet-wise? Anything?
No, my diet's actually the cleanest it's been, but the damage has been done.
Carb intake? Did you lower that?
It's I'm training for that fight now, so I got to keep the carbs up. So
Did I miss something here? What fight? Who's he fighting?
Mr. G, that crew up in New York with Dave Palumbo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he challenged me to a fight, MMA stuff. So we're going to hopefully do it at Orlando, the weekend of the Olympia, at a gym close
Lenny
by.
called the guy a total moron. The guy flipped out and lost his shit. Challenged him to a fight, and
He has a line of protein cookies and all that.
Oh, is that what the cookie thing is all about?
Yes. Which are actually good.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you, Rob from New Jersey sent me a box of them. You got a box too.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They are good.
I got to get that done. I mean, hopefully it'll be financially worth it.
Yeah, good endeavor.
And they're trying to get Sean Ray to fight Lee Priest on the undercard, but
oh my God,
I don't think Sean Ray's going to. I think it would be a real big hit. People want to see that.
That would be sick.
I saw
what
Lee.
kind of shape these guys in
I
now?
saw Lee Priest posted something with gloves on, hitting the bag.
Oh, really?
Got some good form.
what's the beef between Sean Ray and Lee Priest?
Well, they never liked each other.
No, they never liked each other.
And a lot of guys I heard don't like Sean.
Yeah, I've never talked to him. I've seen him, but he's a standoffish.
Yeah.
But I guess what?
I don't think he's going to do it.
He could be who he was at the time. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal.
Because it gives, people a chance to see something that's real they haven't seen before.
Well, that went over big years ago with the celebrity boxing guys challenging guys.
Yeah.
In boxing. That was.
It's gotten out of control now. With Jake Paul and all this other.
And Canseco looked like he took a dive for $1 million at 15 seconds.
Wasn't he living in someone's garage recently or something?
Yeah.
That's what I read. Yeah. So $1 million is going to go a long way when you're in somebody's garage. You buy a lot of good garage furniture.
God, what happened to him? He was the best player in the league in the 80s.
Man, he could club him, man. But he was him and McGuire together, man. Do you see? They look like two linemen.
That was fun.
Canseco opened up a car wash in Las Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
Recently?
Did he? There you go.
Pretty sure.
He's following Lenny Dykstra on a bunch of car washes. Yeah. else? Yeah.
The road to 20.
Yeah.
20 years.
But to be that big, 240, 250 pounds, leading the league in stolen bases.
Yeah, he was amazing. He did the 40 for 40. That was amazing. Yeah, you're actually
a
right.
tight end. Too.
You're actually right. I forgot about that. Oh, he was an athlete, man. He was an athlete. Never met him
He was
either.
a really shy kid. I saw his biography the other day. He wouldn't even want to speak in class. He would take a failing grade because he didn't like to speak in a.
Didn't he have an impediment of some type? You ever see his eye twitches and
Yeah,
stuff like that? Yeah, he had an impediment.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe, these kids when they grow up, I was watching the other day, the Basketball Hall of Fame. Tamika Catchings went in. She's deaf and has a speech impediment. And she went to the Hall of Fame. I mean, it was very inspiring. Very
Yeah, I
inspiring.
think Mike O'Hearn has a
Does he?
dyslexic, something like that.
Maybe we'll put Jason in the bodybuilding Hall of Fame.
Do they have a bodybuilding Hall of Fame?
Dave's supposed to start one.
That would be smart.
They should build it here in Delray Beach. Perfect.
We could have a guy over. Maybe I'll have to be a guest again, and we could have somebody over, like
Mike
Ronnie.
Quinn.
I actually know Ronnie. I can get Cutler and Ronnie. There you go. They're both in. There you go.
So you're the Larry from Jay Cutler's videos when he's screaming, Larry!
I don't think so, but I'll take that credit. Did he yell Larry in a good way, or Larry, give me my wallet?
Speaking of Jay Cutler, I was talking to the guy who owns Flex Appeal in Massachusetts, and that's where Jay Cutler's from.
Yeah.
And he asks Jay about you, Leonard. He's like, "What do you think of Big Leonard?" He has no idea what to make out of him. So.
But that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, Lenny used to call him out a few years ago.
We
and-
called each other up, but when I went to Olympia, he took me to the front of the line. Andrew was there. He interviewed us. It was
Really,
great.
huh?
Really nice guy.
Well, he was shocked to hear from them that you're actually a real nice guy off camera.
Yeah, especially after these recent illnesses and stuff. And in the fight is going to humble me, even though I plan to give 100%. You can make a fool of yourself for eternity.
Your mind's still 25, but your body is.
Yeah. Of course, George
85.
is 63, so he's like your age. He's
I would put myself against a lot of 63-year-olds, honestly.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'd probably get about 7 or 8 murder charges, but I would definitely do it. That I pride myself on.
What else did you do for a living besides the stock market?
Worked in the stock market, got into, actually it was really cool. So when I moved down here, I came for 6 months. I said I was going to work for about a year. I got bored out of there's so much time you could lay in a pool during the day, you know what I'm saying? So I got a job at a place called Global Pictures, a motion picture company. They were stuck. They wanted to make movies. They made a movie, but they couldn't raise money, and that's what I did. I was in the stock market. So I built an office with them, and we raised money for movies. We actually made 3 motion pictures, all like B+ HBO type films. But we had at the time, I don't know if your listeners know, Burt Reynolds was in them, Lou Diamond Phillips, Lachlan Monroe.
Burt Reynolds lived in Jupiter, yeah.
Jupiter. And we actually filmed a scene on one of the movies at his house.
No,
So I got into that, and that was a trip. I mean, I remember one night we rented Clematis Street. Well, not rent. We rented all of Clematis Street for a week. Yeah, they closed it down at 9, and then we had the thing till 4:30 in the morning. We were filming gunfight scenes out there, all sorts of gangster
That's
stuff.
awesome, yeah.
But I felt like that was a big shot deal. That I felt because I was an executive producer.
What movies?
One was called the nightKlube. You could KNIGHT. I'm actually in the movie as a bouncer, which is amazing for me to play a bouncer because I don't look like anything like a bouncer. I hate being fucking stereotyped, right? I couldn't be the ballet dancer, So it was all about bouncers in Los Angeles, and the guy who made it, Gannon, the director, was a big bouncer in LA. So he really took it. And it was a couple. I forget the names; they were renamed, but yeah, it was. We had fun. It was quite a thing. And then I got into the debt business, the credit card debt thing. And
Getting back to the movie business on it, it reminds me of when you offered me and Andrew Collura plane tickets to be in that movie.
Mm-hmm. That was the bouncer movie.
And we were, we wouldn't want to miss our training.
No, that was the bouncer movie, the nightclub.
Yeah, we turned it down.
And you know
Another
what? They offered
opportunity
you.
fucking missed.
Robert
Fucking
Natolo,
guys.
who was the president of the company, trained at that gym, and he saw me always with you guys. That's why you were supposed to be in the movie. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the things
You would have had a nice part. You would have had a nice part.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
Meow Man too, yeah.
Good fucking God.
I know. Well,
He's missed more opportunities than anybody. He's got-
it's easy to say when it's not done. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, at least I made this podcast.
That's right.
This is something I would have never believed back then. Him even talking in front of a microphone. Honestly, I thought he was Helen Keller's kid.
How happened when he ate your food while you were on stage?
Oh, that's my favorite story, man. We always talk about that. So I'm doing a show. I'm dating a really beautiful woman. I moved down here with red hair, green eye, named Michelle. And I didn't want her to be alone in the crowd. And they wanted to come to the show. So I bought them tickets. I said, do me a favor, just stay with Michelle. Keep an eye on her. And I'll do the show. But do me a favor. Here's like 30, 40, 50 bucks. Go out and buy. What'd you go out and buy? Arby's? He went up to Arby's. I went to Wendy's. He went to Arby's, right? Of course. So I'm up on the show. You know, it's the night of the show. You're finishing. You're dead. You got no food, no water in you. You're just you're passed out. All I kept thinking was that bag of fucking food. That's all I was thinking about. I get off the stage, and these two were like they were like two children at that time, because I walked to them, and I'm like, where's my food? Their eyes drooped, and I knew right away.
Like in shame.
I said, you mother, like a dog that ate your fucking underwear or something like that. So I looked at him, I said, you fuckers did not eat my food. He goes, not all of it. They left me like a half a sandwich and like 2 fries. There had to be $50 off. He's in there. And you know what they said? The show was long. We got hungry, Larry.
That was embarrassing.
Assholes.
I don't know what I was.
Never went to another show with me again. Fuck you.
Yeah, after all that free tickets and.
Oh, sitting out with a beautiful woman and then you eat my food. I'm surprised you guys didn't rape you fucking guys.
No, we were too shy. We were afraid to approach a girl. Matter of fact,
But you weren't afraid to eat
Andrew,
his food.
I wasn't afraid of that because you knew I could buy more. That's why.
Andrew's the first person I know that bench 600 as a virgin.
No, he was a virgin all that time?
Yes.
When he
I
was
finally hooked him up with a blonde, but he actually.
Till what age?
21.
Oh, so that explains everything. Why strong he was. He was getting more testosterone in him. He was like a volcano.
He wasn't afraid of the 600-pound bar, but he was afraid to talk to girls.
Yeah, he was like Mount Vesuvius when he went off
I
road.
would say you got to be like Larry, and I think you said it one time. Even if you talk to 10 girls, you
Process of
three
elimination.
positive, will give you a positive response. You're batting 300.
Hold on. That's my philosophy. If you're not even a good-looking guy, you can go around the bar and you're going home with somebody. A couple of slaps in the face, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying?
And there.
Courage to come up to them. That's all it
You're
is.
right.
Confidence.
You're right. But it's, you know something, man? What can they say? I've been on the phone my whole life as a stock broker and raising money. I keep asking for money until they say, fuck you, you prick. And then I say, well, is that a no? And then they hang up. Can I talk to your wife then about this? So, persistency is, and that's, hey, that's why having a wife that's 18 years younger than me, right?
That explains a lot, because on the comments, they call us every name in the book, and that stuff doesn't bother us anymore.
But who's throwing the comments? I would love to see the pictures of their resume.
Exactly.
Yeah, show me. Like, if somebody makes fun of me tomorrow, hey, I'll tell you where I live. Come to my house and just sit on the lawn with me. You tell me more about yourself. Love to meet you, my man. So whoever makes comments, you better have all thumbs up, motherfuckers.
You just got to stop and realize, like, can I even imagine having the time to go look for videos that I don't like to post that shit? And that.
What kind of life do you have, man?
Huh?
What kind of life do you have when you're like that?
yeah.
How miserable are you?
Well, that's exactly what it is. Misery loves company.
Yeah. And in this environment today is these kids just stay in. I wish they would go to the gym and film these kind of friendships we have at this table. You know what I'm saying? These are friendships, man. They last forever.
And it lasts for eternity now, and other people from generations earlier can see this.
Oh, you know how happy was I the other day, Rob, when I saw him for the first time?
Yeah, very happy.
Happy as I was.
I was so happy to see him, man. I was so happy.
And I'd always tell these guys, Larry would be the guy. I've been saying this for years, be the guy to get on here.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. But it was, and I was ecstatic to see him, because when you see somebody, and I always followed the Delray, in the beginning, the Delray Misfits, I used to vomit. That was so fucking crazy. You guys were out of your minds. Out of your minds. I mean, it was a lot of guys in the gym. They used to go, did you see the Delray Misfits? I said, who's these guys? It's Big Lenny. I said, oh my God. And I watched, and I was like, these are funny goddamn shows. And the people you put on them were just characters. So it was, I dug it to hell. I really dug.
Do you remember Big Richard from the old world gym?
Yeah, I do. I saw a picture of him. I actually watched a video the other day. He was on one of your videos recently, I think. I'm not sure.
No,
or
he
maybe
hasn't-
it was
he
an old
hasn't.
one I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been around in a while.
I remember that one guy. He was very strong. He was an older guy, but he
Bald
looked like,
head?
no. He looks like he had a blood pressure problem. He's just like red as a beet, man.
Oh, yeah, he's my age. He's not that old.
Yeah, all right.
Big J, yeah,
Big J.
the truck driver.
And it was another guy with a tank top on, an older guy. Was that the guy you were talking about?
See, he is what old man Chuck thought he looked like.
Yeah.
Do we?
You know old man Chuck? I'm squatting 800 pounds today.
He competed against the Mensa brothers.
Is that the guy with the tank top on? He still wears a tank top in the gym.
This guy had a
Old man Trump
goatee
wore a T-shirt with himself on
from
it,
the
didn't he?
80s. Yeah, at his peak condition.
He had a picture of himself on his T-shirt.
Tip comp
Why?
condition.
Forgot where his ID was.
In purple speedos or purple.
So when you get pulled over by a cop, hey, no, look, I got my ID on.
He used to put 400 pounds, 405 on the squat bar, go down an inch, do 4 reps of that, and tell people I just squatted 405.
Oh, well, look, how much do we love guys like that? I was telling Lenny the other day, we was a kid in the gym taking pictures of himself, more pictures. So I didn't have the heart. I walked by a kid, never always listened. I said, hey, day one? Where it came from, I don't know, but it was a perfect line.
Oh, man.
No, I've been training. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I thought you were just...
Larry had a name for the people that would hardly come to the gym. They'd come in on certain... He says, here come the die-hards.
The die-hard. There was a guy in our gym, I forget his name is Andrew. I always tell that story about his legs. He had an upper body. It was amazing. He had legs like if you ran too fast, he'd catch on fire. That's how small it's like sticks, right? So what happened? He's at the water fountain. Everyone's training around me. This is at the Old Worlds at Atlantic. So I said to him, man, I didn't even know he was going through a divorce. So I said, hey, man, Andrew, how was that going? He goes, good. Larry goes, man, I heard about your lawsuit. And he goes, what? You heard about it? Yeah, I heard about your upper body suing your lower body for non-support. You heard every weight crash. Everybody's yelling at me. Larry, you can't say stuff like that when we're training. Yeah, it was fun. Good stuff.
You mainly train out at Lantana, right?
I train by my house. I'm a member of many gyms. UFit, that. I go up to West Palm Beach Sports Club. Kid I know runs it. I know another kid that's going to run a crunch. But it ain't the same. Like when you were, when you could walk and be an alpha dog and go in and piss on equipment because you're the strongest guy there. I love traveling to gyms. That was the fun part because like you guys did, because you're an alpha, you're going in and
seeing different girls.
Yeah. And it's good. Different people. I like, because it gives you competition to different guys. You got on like Andrew was great. You put him on a shoulder press. He's doing behind the necks with 315, 365. It was insane. Seated, free weight.
That's ridiculous.
Let's talk about Mike Hummel. Remember Mike?
Yes.
One arm Mike.
You know him?
Yeah.
He was my brother-in-law.
Oh, no shit. Yeah.
I had to travel around. I traveled everywhere with him for his competitions.
I used to see him at the World Gym in West Boca.
Oh, right.
That was Jim Willard's also.
Yes, it was Jim Willard's. Mm-hmm. I don't know if your listeners know who this guy is. You want to look him up. Mike Hummel. Hummell, I think is Mike Hummel.
German. Humme.
Right. First time I met him, I went to that gym the first time, and he had a Smith press. He had a shoulder thing set up, and it was four plates on the shoulder press. And I'm like, and he's like 240. He's not massive, and he has one arm. So he comes over to me, and this is how we met. I ended up being his brother-in-law. He comes over to me, he goes, Larry, no, he goes, I didn't know my name, of course, and he goes, can you give me a spot? It looks like you know what you're doing. And I'm like, dude, I'm like saying to myself, you got one fucking arm.
What the fuck am I
What are you do? One-arm chin-ups on that fucking Smith machine? I'm like, I didn't know one-arm push-ups. You want me to count? I didn't know.
The prosthetic thing.
The prosthetic, right? So he puts this prosthetic on, he tightens it up, and the prosthetic has like a, on the end with a wing hook, and you put it around the bar, and you wing hook it down. So I put him into the machine. He's all locked up, and it's 405. So I'm like, what is he going to do? He goes, I'm going to try to get 10 to 12. 10 to 12. It's 4:05. I could, you know what I'm saying? You're talking shoulders, not chest.
Yeah.
And he did, I think he did 13 or 14.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he was a beast. We watched, me and him watched the combine one time together. You know when they benched 2 1/4?
Yeah.
Calls me up. We're both watching on TV. He goes, oh, nah, we got to go to the gym. I got to try 2 1/4. 57 times.
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Everybody over there, look up that guy. You want to have motivation? Like if you're sitting there with a fat pig and you can't go to the gym, this guy has one arm.
You got no excuse. Right, you got no excuses. Does he have video online?
Yeah, Mike Hummel. You can see it. He did the Arnold. We did the Arnold. We went everywhere. He did the Worlds. I went with him to the Worlds. He was the best pound at 240 pound for pound in the world at one time. He beat the Russians.
How did he lose his arm?
Car accident.
At
Coming back, I think, from Fort Lauderdale with his wife. Thank God he lived. His wife, thank God they both lived.
At what age?
He had to be about 20-something, 25, 26.
So he was lifting before.
He had to be a beast.
Yeah.
But he just wasn't strong upper body-wise. You put him on a leg press, he'll do what we did. He was just a genetic, anomaly.
But he was able to use that prosthetic. It's like his normal arm. was amazing.
It was amazing.
Everyone thought he was done because I was working in the hospital and I went to see him. He was in ICU, and apparently a car flipped over and
You're
he had his
absolutely
arm
right.
out.
And landed on his arm. You're absolutely right, bro. Wow, you were there? You were in the ICU?
I was in the I went to see him because I saw the name on the ticket and I said, I know that guy.
Wow. He's an amazing story, and he's very successful, beyond successful. He's an amazing story, very motivating. So, like I said, if you're really worried about going to the gym, this dude has one arm, man.
Yeah.
You know, look what he accomplished. Just an incredible guy. Yeah, right? Right? Look him up.
I MMA when I was younger, and there was a guy, Nick Newell. I don't know if any of you guys seen him. He had one arm.
Really?
And he ended up making it to the UFC. I used to spar with him, and he used to choke me out with that nub. And he was really
Scary.
yeah. And, you know, he's got to make up for it, so he would train his kicks. He would overcompensate with his kicks, and he was a scary guy.
Well, just think about it. I mean, how his mind over matter must work. I mean, the mental power of somebody with one arm to be a professional MMA fighter. I couldn't even imagine. That's why I never cried about my hip injuries, because there's always somebody, like, you can't cry about your diabetes, man, because, you know, a lot of shit we did is self-inflicted. We did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? No one told us to put, 2,000 pounds on the leg press.
Larry, I remember you after work, went to work at one time drinking a Budweiser. But other than that, you haven't really engaged in...
Nah, I never was a drinker.
I think that's a
pot.
great message for the kids.
Never smoked pot in my life. Not a drinker. I'm occasional drinker. You know, with friends, I'll have a beer, stuff like that. It explains, my age, my look at my age. I took
And
care of
Arnold
myself.
never did that. Chuck Zito wasn't like that either.
Chuck was fun. Chuck was I never really seen Chuck. Never actually, but yeah, he always would have a nice steak or something like that. Never.
He said he'd go in and drink a Coke.
You're right. Chuck was very disciplined.
Greg Valentino's the same. I admire that. A lot of kids need to hear that. They think you can't have a good time, and me being one of them who recently started messing around a little bit in the past couple years. A little bit. Everybody. A little bit.
What does a little bit mean?
Everybody.
You're a big guy. What's a little bit?
A little bit of things that shouldn't have done.
Dabble's another good
But
word.
those days are over. But back in the day, we were doing GHB.
Right.
Because they said it was a great growth hormone.
Right.
So.
I actually did it before one of my shows. It just you take it before bed, and I did it for everyone out there for the show. I didn't do it to go get myself raped in a bar. Wasn't like I was cruising the bars on GH, looking to pass out. No, that wasn't going to happen.
It'll knock you out.
Knock you out.
Right? Yeah.
Oh my God! You take it, a capful, right? A little capful of a bottle. In about a half an hour, you'll go into the greatest REM sleep ever. You'll go to bed, wake up the next day in the same position with drool all over your pillow.
You could sleep 4 hours and you feel like you slept 10. Yeah.
And that's what really was a benefit for competing, because you can't sleep. Whatever little gear you're on, it deters your sleep, makes you sweat and everything like that stuff. Just puts you, and your body, everyone needs sleep, man. If you're going to train, you got to sleep. You can't go out and party and do coke and then go squat the next day and watch your heart go right through your back.
But you always had a great time, a great life, and you never indulged in that. I think that's commendable.
Yeah, something also, I'm not one to get sloppy in front of people. I have a way I like to conduct myself. I hold myself, in my own esteem, and I don't want to get sloppy in front of anybody. To me, when guys get really drunk and they get stupid and retarded, and you got to watch over them, you got
to babysit
says
them.
a lot about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt.
If you need to get loud and be obnoxious to be the center of attention, you're hurting inside.
Oh no, without a
And I'm
doubt.
speaking from personal experience from ages up until about a year ago. So.
Well, you had demons, man. Everyone has demons. You had demons, I guess, with your pop. We had demons. I was very lucky. I had a good, solid family background, and I was raised well. I get it. I get it. I've been around it my whole life.
You're an altar boy too, like me, right?
Oh, actually, I got caught stealing from the church one day. I found out where they took the money when I was like 8 years old, and I went into the place where they took the money for the, for the wet pass around the basket.
What'd you spend it on?
Baseball cards. And I got caught from my father, and he goes to me, "What happened?" He goes, "Dad, I found like $600 in a bush." I was 8, and the worst thing about that, and this is where my fear was priests. I had to go. My father brought me back to the Monsignor, and I had to go confess in front of him. Oh,
you can work.
You got to stay with me every night, son.
You can work. I gotta wait for you to work that 600 off, young man.
It's usually $10 a session, so you got a lot of work ahead of you. I'm only kidding. That never happened.
You grew up where?
I grew up in Yonkers in the Bronx. To us, Yonkers was like a paradise coming, in the Bronx to Yonkers. So, and then I spent most of my time in the Westchester area. growing up. Went to high school there. Ended up going to college at Columbia University. Ended up dropping out of Columbia because I got a job in the stock market and I started making money. And just stupidest move of my life. I should have followed through. But when you're a kid and you're making, put it this way, I was driving a Ferrari when I was 23. I bought it. I had a vet.
Early 80s.
Why go to school?
When
Right.
everything took
When the market was, crazy. So I had a Ferrari, a vet, and a Cadillac. I was 23.
And you didn't get into cocaine or none of that?
Nah, and I was a big time, I worked in all the clubs. I was a bouncer. I made a lot of money that way too when I was a kid. So, I worked a little at Studio 54, believe it or not, which is a legendary club. Yeah, don't forget, I'm 64.
Yeah.
And then a lot of clubs in Westchester. And when you become as a bouncer, you become like a celebrity. And you meet, don't forget, you meet running the door to a nightclub that lets in 4,000 or 5,000 people. You're gonna meet a lot of people, man. You're gonna meet a lot of people.
You become everybody's best friend.
No, you are.
They want to get
You're
in.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So I grew up in Westchester, worked in the World Trade Center. I had a physical therapy center. But one of the things I did do, I fucked up real bad in my life. When I was in the stock market, I got greedy. I was making a lot of money. And I started doing insider trading where I would put, like, say, all our friends here at the table. I knew what stocks were good. So I would give all you guys like 25,000 or 50,000. We'd buy the stock in your name because I couldn't have it in my name because I'm a broker. And when the stocks went up, we all split. I pay you taxes. And it was just a stupid thing. And just greed, pure greed, because my parents were a landscaper and a school teacher. And you just wanted more money. You wanted all more toys.
Yeah, you want to take care of everybody.
Yes. And what happened is that I made a dumb move. So when the feds came to me, they went to my friends first, and there was no way I was going to, I'm a loyalist. So I took the rap, let everyone got free. No one had a fine. And I took the rap and I ended up going to jail. I ended up being in jail at 35. So, but I'll tell you, man, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Made me the man who I am. If I would have met you guys in my younger years, I was a cocky, rich kid driving a Ferrari. Who drives a Ferrari at 23?
How much time did you have to do?
2 years. 2 years.
What did you learn from it?
Humble, pure humble.
Would you go to like a federal prison?
I went to
camp?
Allenwood. I was in Allenwood for 2 years. And I've done other time before for assault and stuff like that because I, growing up the way I grew up, we fought a lot. And if my friends are out there, they'll tell you I was pretty lethal with my hands. So, I made a mistake and I paid the price. I lost everything I had, came out of jail. I had to live in a halfway house for 3 months. And my dad gave me $200. It's the last $200 I ever took off my father just to buy shaving gear and stuff like that. And I became a personal trainer at Powerhouse Gym on 23rd between 6th and 7th. I was a personal trainer. And that's how I built myself back into back to the person I wanted to be, but doing it the right way. So I made a mistake. And sometimes making a mistake and paying a price is the best thing. If you could get rehabilitated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you can get rehabilitated, get humble. Don't need a Ferrari, don't need the vet, don't need the girls, don't need this. I wouldn't do drugs. I'd buy drugs for people. Yeah. I was that guy. Larry, what are you going to do? Well, you need an 8-ball. Go ahead, get an 8-ball. I'm not doing any. Have a good time.
So you can't have a good time without it, maniacs.
You're absolutely right, man.
And I did too. I had good times when I was clean doing that.
You never drank? I never
did any of that.
Never.
You couldn't pay me to sip. I thought
you guys were so into your training, man.
Yeah, you called us church boys.
Church boys, man. Like I could have my watch and I could tell you what time they're going to be. If I wanted to kill you, I could have killed you every day. Because you would have showed up at the same spot every day. It was amazing. On the weekends we went, right? Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh, yeah.
But it was again, it's a cult. It's a cult. It's a religion.
And when Larry was here, we upped our intensity. We just, by instinct.
It was awesome, though.
We didn't want to look bad in front of them.
They were perfect guys for me to train with because they were stronger than me. And I considered myself strong, but these guys were the retard strong, the guys who lift cars off of people, like that kind of strong.
We thought we'd be like that forever.
No, it's like you people, I don't know if they'd ever seen you in your prime or you talk about it. I mean, let's see, you've been doing the show how long?
7 years.
Yeah, they didn't. That was your prime.
No, there's one video of him benching the same meet with Andrew. What'd you bench in that one? Over 500, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. Raw.
Yeah, but other than that, there's not much of his old training footage online. There's some of him at the 2006 Southern States and then 2003.
Yes, competing.
Yeah.
And he used to make fun of me, this son of a bitch, about being a bodybuilder. And when son of a bitch, that's a great story in itself.
I never said it to your face.
You never said I'm going to compete.
Behind people's
backs. Talking shit to the grapevine, so he hasn't changed.
He hasn't changed at all.
I do remember. That's when you were training at a gym across from the world. Yeah. You did a show, and somebody said, "Did you see Lenny did a show?" I'm like, "How much did he lift?" And I'm like, "No, Larry, he did a bodybuilding." Get the fuck out. No, No way. He used to make fun of me a lot of times because I would train like, especially at the end because you got to train laid cables with no weight, eating like what? A grape for a meal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was an eye-opener.
I'm glad you did it because you got to do the journey.
Yeah, it kept me alive, taking 100-some pounds off me.
Someone out there, if you guys are listening, listen, honestly, if you ever want to do a show, that's the best thing you could do. It's a journey that you could put your mind and your body through. And once you do that journey and you get up on a stage, doesn't matter win or lose because you did the journey. I always tell people that there's not many Jay Cutlers and there's not many Nick Walkers. But if you can do it on a show and have the balls to sit up there in those fucking underwear.
We went to work. You had a job. We
all had jobs.
These guys that get sponsored, that to me, not that impressive.
Nah. But we did it for the love of the sport, man. It was all for your. I told you why I did it. It was all to challenge myself. You guys did it because you were just pure the biggest gym rats I've ever seen in my life.
We were tired of people calling us fat behind our backs too.
But it was amazing when you guys got in shape. I mean, when Andrew got in shape, oh my God, he could have been the Olympia. He didn't tear his, what do you do? Tear his hamstring or something like that, or a hernia? He had a severe hernia. Well, I wonder why, right? For all the weights he lifted.
All that eating.
He was amazing. He won the Florida, right? Didn't he go on a show and he won it?
He had pro style mass. Just needs somebody to lead him in the right direction. He never got it. Never took it.
He competed last year, right? Was
He
it
did.
last
He won
year?
a Masters contest.
Did he?
Yeah, he's
Good for
great.
him. How old is he now?
43.
He's my age, 42. We're both 42.
But he's completely
You look good,
natural.
man. You look
Thanks.
You ought to see him. He's natural. He doesn't take anything.
Yeah, he's off
But his
everything.
genetics were just.
And he's,
like I said,
he's shredded, over 200 pounds. Still,
Is he married? Anything like that?
No, he's still pretty much.
Well, what
living
you
the
guys
same-
are like, I got married 3 times. You guys don't even try to fucking lose.
Yeah, I was married to a Haitian girl, but that didn't work out.
Larry, a wise man once said, "You learn from your mistakes." A wiser man says, "You learn from the mistakes of others."
Yeah, well, you guys just sit around. I'll tell you a lot of fucking mistakes. Wise man, I'm like Jesus. God, but that's life. Life is fun, man. You got to take a chance.
Any kids?
I have 2 stepdaughters from a marriage that Jackie, the Cuban girl got married to, where I met at our gym. Adorable. One is has a child. The other one is just stunning. Her name is Brooke. Carly has just had a baby about 2 years ago. But and Brooke
Denise lately.
Denise,
The Colombian.
oh, no. I ran into her one time when my wife needed. I went into the mall with my wife. She's like beyond diesel at the time, getting ready for something, and she needed a gown or something. We were going to something, and Denise worked at the clothing store I went into in the mall.
Okay.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
A little
She still look good?
How could she not? I mean, she was gorgeous.
Yeah, Andrew loved her. Oh,
Well,
man.
you know what happened?
Her and Sherry Lee were like his.
Oh my God, Sherry Lee was like Pamela Anderson.
Couldn't get it.
Yeah,
together, man.
Hold on. This girl, Denise, this is a great story. So she was married to this older guy who looked like nothing, but he was part of the Colombian cartel. And he moved here. So I used to talk to her all the time. She liked, but I heard her husband was a client. I ain't fuck with nobody.
I know who you're
Thank
talking
you.
about.
Thank
I know
you.
who you're talking
Thank
about.
you. And she was stunning.
Yep.
Stunning. So what happened is that me and her became great friends.
He got killed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she was a widow.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes. That's when she really hit on me.
Yep.
Then I was, wait now. No one's going to kill me in the bedroom. I mean, like the horse in The Godfather. Yeah, she was beautiful. And she had that accent. So she was just sweet. And she had a daughter, which, I spent a lot of time at their house. We never really hooked up, but I just, as a friend, because I was trying to help her get through the divorce. But what happened before their divorce, before the death of her husband, the kid that the guy hired a trainer for her. And the guy used to train her. The trainer started to hit on her like crazy. And I used to tell the kid all the time, I said, dude, do yourself a favor. Well, look at his husband. I'll kill him. And no, it ain't the husband. I said, go rent Scarface. I was like, it ain't the husband. So what happened is that I hear one night he leaves the gym at 11 and there were 5 or 6 guys outside and they put a gun in his mouth, 1 in his ass and 2 in his ears. And they said, they just, the kid, it just for you out there in Radio Land, you die when you get killed that way. So that's a horrible way. And then they'll pull your tongue right out of your throat. So what happened is that they didn't kill him. They left him out there and they tied him up.
Oh, shit.
So the kid, I never saw him after that. He never came back to the gym. He got the idea, but that's what happens when you mess with a cartel.
Yeah.
Isn't that such a sleazy thing to be a personal trainer and hit on your clients like
That's
that?
all they do, though.
Of
No
course,
disrespect.
Most of those
No
guys.
disrespect.
Most of those guys get into it to get pussy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it
think about the
happens.
woman. She's going to come say she's having a bad relationship. She's going to bitch and moan,
Yeah.
and you're going to lie. to say you would never do that, and let's go out for a cup of coffee, and then
They know how to.
They're
play
both
the role
getting-
of therapist,
yeah,
that's what they exactly are.
Right.
The trainer and the
Pretend to listen.
client are both
You're absolutely
getting
right.
for that,
The desperate housewives. Their husband doesn't fuck them anymore, so they go to the gym to try to get in shape, and then they want to fuck the trainer because he's
in shape, right?
Looks better than her husband.
And this poor fucking sap is going to work. She's driving there with a Range Rover, and she's fucking the trainer, and he's paying for everything. They go out to dinner. Who's paying for the trainer? Don't got the money. He's taking her like Ruth Chris or something. She don't got the money. Yeah, I hate that part. And it happens. I know a lot of trainers, and I tell them, man, don't shit where you eat. If you don't shit where good thing you met. When I was a trainer, I started dating this girl. Her name was Sheila Cordell, and she was voted and you look her up. She died actually. Her boyfriend threw her off a building in New York City. Sheila Cordell. This is no lie. I have stories. I know my stories have really happy endings.
Rob's getting some ideas.
This is no lie. So she was voted.
Hey, Jay, we're having a rooftop party.
Yeah. look at that Lamborghini down there. Whee! Is that canary yellow? Whee! So what happened is that she got this great idea. She goes, Larry, you should train strippers, dancers. So my friends ran Scores. I worked at Scores for a while before I went to jail. And she put up a poster. She was voted, before she came to New York, the best body of any stripper in Florida. So you can imagine what she looked like, right? So she would be my girlfriend. And she helped me. She put up a poster. She made it herself. It was so beautiful, the artwork. And for me to train. So they used to ask her, how do you look like that? Well, Larry. And they didn't know we were boyfriend, girlfriend. So before you know it, God strike me dead, I had about 70 strippers I was training. God strike me dead. And you know what I did? I never slept with one of them. And that's why I kept getting more of them.
If you can go back into
I wanted the money. No, I wanted the money. I was just coming out of jail. I needed to make money. I didn't need that. I had, where am I going to get any better than the girl I'm dating?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where am I going?
Right.
Where am I going? Everything's downhill. So what, for the conquering? I'm good. So what happened is that I ended up having a business where I had to hire 2 people to help me. I just got out of jail. I was probably making $15,000, $18,000 a month cash.
Nice.
How much were you charging for a session?
I was charging $50 a session, but they had to pay me for $500 up front for the month. And if they didn't show up, they lost their money. So what happens? They're strippers. So what happens? A lot of times I got fucked up and didn't show up. So I just sit there and eat and get paid.
Right,
You know?
gotcha. Okay.
But I got my money up front. You know, it was hard because these girls dance. I get it. You know, they have a tough living, but they want to stay in shape. That's how they make money. It was pretty cool. That's cool business. That's for all you personal trainers out there. That's a
Yeah, I'll rephrase.
that's a 20% cut I get
I'll
on your.
rephrase my statement. I guess if you're a trainer and the lady's single or the whatever, that's a different story. But like that guy creeping on that lady, obviously she didn't want it, or they wouldn't have sent those guys there.
Right.
That's what I was talking about.
No, let me tell you something. That was talk about a bad decision. That dude, oof, I can't imagine what that was like. Imagine having all those guns to your head and one down your throat, one up your ass. I mean, God damn, there's not one orifice that's not open.
The worst we ever had, me and Andrew sitting there, and Randy came and found out we were talking shit about
Solando?
Yeah.
You know, I was in that murder trial with him.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't commit murder, by the way. For the feds in, for Long Island, I was not involved.
Yeah, that was tragic. 'Cause we did work with him a few times. He was pretty intense.
Yeah, he grew up with us. You know, he knew me like, I was like he came down looking for me, and I had, of course you take care of him because he's one of your kids. You know what I'm saying? He was like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, he was strong.
Strong beast, but he was a collector.
Yeah, we saw that in action along with someone.
But his story ended tragic, killing the wrong guy. The whole story. What a horrible story that was.
So he's in prison still.
Life, him and the girl. What happened is, if you want me to tell you, it's a sick story. It's on. There's a show called Snapped. I think it's on Discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of their first episodes.
Oh boy.
And they did 2 episodes on it. It was so incredible. But what happened is that I used to go to the gym in the morning, do my cardio, and this woman, Maria, used to always sit next to me and talk to me on the treadmill. And what happened is that one day she just was so blatant. She goes, "Do you collect money or talk to people that aren't?" I'm like, basically, am I a hitman? So I'm like, no, I'm not a hitman. I have a business. We're doing the movies at the time. And she goes, "Well, my niece is getting beat up by her husband all the time, and we need somebody to go to talk to him to straighten him out." So I was like, something, ma'am, I don't do that. But I said, I have a friend of mine who just moved down here. And I said, if you want him to talk to him, he's very scary. He'll make a good impression. Good, give me a number. So he goes, he meets with them. Long and the short of it is that this is how crazy it was. He starts dating the girl who's getting beat up. They end up having a kid together. Right? So now he has a great idea. And there's this other gentleman named Scott who did 20 years who went with him. They said they're going to go to New York, kill the guy, and get the insurance money. But it was the girl and Randy who put the plot together. Horrible, right? So they go to New York. They go to Powerhouse Gym in Nassau County. They wait till like 11 at night when it closes for the guy to come out.
That's a bad time for leaving a gym, apparently.
Yep.
11 o'clock.
Yeah. So everyone don't leave the gym at 11. So what happened is that he goes out, the kid, he's a big kid, and he goes out, he's wearing a Powerhouse jacket, and he gets shot 5 times in the back, right? They shoot him. They come back to Florida, the both of them. They drove there in a van. And what happened on the news the next day, they shot the wrong guy. It was his partner. They were both the same height and the same size. They killed the freaking guy.
Did he have a family?
Yeah. I met them all because I had to go to the trial. I was a witness. Because I wasn't a witness. I just introduced everybody. I'm like the person that they gave me immunity. I didn't do anything. I would just say, here, meet him, and you meet him. And
even him being a collection agency was technically isn't legal.
I don't know. They didn't do anything. For me, it was, just to, I felt terrible, but, they're pressuring, I didn't want to get in trouble for myself. I didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So I just introduced, if I would introduce you to him, and some happened in 2 years, 3 years, 3 years later it happened. Right. So what happened is that they had a trial, and it was tragic, man. But it was on TV. It was on a lot of these shows. Shot the wrong guy. Yeah, Randy, same guy, bro, from my neighborhood. And he's doing life, and the girl got life. They both got life. And the baby was held with court. The court took the baby.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bad story.
Yeah, it's awful.
Good guy. Let me tell you something. The guy was nuts, though. I took him out on my boat one time. He started shooting at apartment windows with his pistol because he was nuts. So we were leaving shooters at like 2 a.m, and I had my stereo blasting on. It was a big boat. It's like 58 feet. It was big.
Shooters are still there, too.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
And we had to come back to Boynton. So I had my boat. So we're blasting the stereo. People are yelling out the window, slower you, right down the intercoastal. He takes his gun out and starts shooting it up in the air. I'm like, dude, we're not going to kill people for yelling at us because we're playing Frank Sinatra too loud.
Yeah,
he was that kind of maniac.
When he was bouncing at Aphrodite's, he was chasing guys around with a butcher knife.
Oh, no, he was nuts. He was nuts.
So he was bound to end up in the...
Yeah, but he was...
Yeah.
Aphrodite.
And before we met him officially, me and Andrew came in. Andrew had a tank top on, and Randy saw him bench at the gym thinking, this guy, I'm going to take a little slow. I don't know
he's
what
a problem.
This guy's like. And Andrew thought he was funny because, he had the suit tuxedo on and the slick back hair. And he told Andrew, why don't you go out in your car and get a shirt? You got a shirt to put on? He goes, no. And he said, look at him and smiling. And I knew about Randy's reputation. I said, Andrew, come on, let's go outside.
Yeah. You didn't go in?
And then we came back and he got a shirt on and he let us back in. He was real nice, but I had to explain who Randy was because I knew about him.
He wasn't a good fighter, Randy. If he grabbed a hold of you, he'll squish your head.
He'd grab a knife or something.
Yeah. He was a terrible fighter.
Yeah,
I know that factually because my friend Jeff Hunter was the chief of police in Eastchester when they were kids. He kicked the shit out of them. We took them to fight on the 50-yard line of Eastchester High School football field. Just put them on a 50-yard line. Guys hate each other. Go at it. So we all surrounded it, and Jeff hit him with a fucking combination, and Randy woke up with his hair a little longer.
Yeah, and we were doing the neck strap, and he wanted to try. We used to put 2 plates on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put it on, took it off. He's like, it was all greasy, all this stuff he had in his hair. And that's the last we saw him until we heard about the shooting, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want to fight that guy. He never met that the real guy that was beating up the girl. He was afraid of him because that guy was another badass. He was the guy who beat up the girl was a tough guy. And he went to prison, and then when he was in prison, he knifed somebody. So he was the real deal. So Randy didn't want no part of it. Randy wasn't a good fighter. Very intimidating.
Yeah.
And not that good of a collector. I remember one time there was a guy who was like an accountant he had to go collect money from. I heard the story. And he gouged the guy's eye out. So I'm saying to myself, Randy, and when I saw him, I said, dude, you hear what happened? I said, yeah, Randy, the guy's accountant. Why would you gouge his eye out? How's he going to fucking work to get the money for you you're trying to collect, you fucking moron?
All right, now you're definitely not getting your money.
That's like, right? Well, what happened is that, say you owed, back in the neighborhoods, if you owed, say, 10 grand to somebody and you're having a hard time, you'd fork over half if they gave it to you. So if you owed me 10, I'd send somebody, like a guy like Randy, he kept 5. At least I got 5 back. Oh, dude, 5,000 a lot of money for maniacs like that, man. For a guy like Randy, it ain't like he went to Harvard. No, it's scary. I mean, where'd you grow up, Rob? Where'd you grow up? All right, so you're kind of close. We're apart.
Say it.
Is it that bad? Hartford?
Close by, yeah.
Do you want me to get a map so you can point it out? What's the secret here, John Gotti?
We have 7 plans, that's all.
Oh, so it's like the cop. They're gonna go to your house.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So,
all right, so you were from Connecticut.
Yeah, New Haven.
All right, cool. New Haven's cool. There's a lot going on there.
It's gotten very bad. Now they call it gun wave in New Haven.
Yeah, it's very bad. Oh, a lot of opioid, right? Big problem there.
Wallingford, Waterbury, like up there, New London. That's supposed to be supposedly the worst with pills. Hartford with heroin, Bridgeport with heroin.
Sounds like Delray.
Yeah, no shit.
Larry, you want to tell us time when John Gotti gave you a bottle of wine?
No, you didn't give me a bottle of wine. What happened is that, it's a good story though. So what happened is that we're in a stock market, and I moved from a major firm to a smaller firm. They let me be a regional manager. I was making crazy money, but that's when I got in trouble. Should have stayed with the big firm. I did not know some of the guys who owned the firm were connected with Gotti. And so we go to, God, what's the name of the place? It's the capital of Sicily. It's the name of a restaurant down in Little Italy. So we go to this place, and we're sitting at a big round table with these two Italian guys who really ran our firm. And in comes Joe Butch, and if you guys look him up, you'll see who he is, and Sammy the Bull Gravano, who everyone knows is. They walk into the restaurant. They look around for a little bit. It's winter. They're all dressed up beautifully. And then they go back outside. And I looked at my brother. I said, did you see who just walked in the door? You know? And they left. I'm like, thank God. You know, I was you're scared. These are the real deal. This is it. And back then in the 80s, these guys were terrifying. In comes them back again. They were just scoping the place. And in comes Dapper Don John in a beautiful cashmere coat. He comes right to our table, right? Because of this guy, Ricky and Fred Galliardo. And their names are coming back to me. They get up, they hug him, they kiss him. Freddie goes, this is the guy, Larry, I was telling you about, who's running our office in Paramus. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is the guy I was telling John Gotti about. I mean, me? So he comes over, he goes, Larry, it's nice meeting you. And I was like, oh my God, my brother's kicking me under the table. I said, stop it, man. This is fucking scary shit. I just urinated on myself. So what happens is that he goes and gets his table, right? I'm like, my God, what did we get ourselves into? You know, now I'm in we're in deep shit here.
Because once you're in, you're in. That's
because they're pushing paper for the Mafia, these guys. So, and that was a big thing in the stock market back then. The Mafia was in control of a lot of, I saw a couple of episodes of The Sopranos when they put good brokers in there or threatened the other brokers, right? Remember that? That was part of what was going on. So what happened is that I had to go to the bathroom. So I get up, I'm all suited up, and I go out, and I start walking through the crowd, and people are turning around, looking at me, and I'm like, women are looking at me, and I'm like, man, it's a nice fucking suit I have on today, right? So the hair looks good. What's up today? Get into the bathroom, go to the stall, get ready to take a piss, and he goes, Larry, guy, Gotti's next to me. Gotti was behind me walking. Everybody was staring at him. I thought it was me. So I'm taking a piss, and he's right next to me. Ask me how much piss came out. Nothing. I was shitting on myself. I almost crapped on myself instead of pissing. So he goes, Larry, it's nice meeting you, you know, and I hope to meet you again. Maybe we'll have dinner some night. I'm like, oh, thank you, Mr. Gotti. Thank you, Mr. Gotti. Fucking ran in that fucking room, ate my food, and hid in my room for about 3 fucking weeks. I was like,
you should have said, John, you don't have any bathroom etiquette?
That's when Sammy the Bull puts a knife right up your ass. Back then, it was no rules for these guys, man.
My impression is, obviously, you know, a lot of those guys then moved down here to Boca. My impression is that these are good guys that want to help out as many people as they can. And they only flip that switch if they really have to. Is that the impression?
Well, don't forget, Gotti was the one who took over businesses by murdering the business owners. That's what, you know, he was into. And he was into all the unions. I mean, it's all documented, you know. And for his community adored him. He was like Robin Hood.
Right.
They adored him. I forget what part of Staten Island or Brooklyn he was in. He was a modern-day Robin Hood. But, you know, what they did was brutal. I remember I dated a woman out in Brooklyn. Her father, I went out to dinner with them, and he owned a compacting company, all garbage trucks. I didn't see her she was really nice, and I hadn't seen her for about 2 or 3 years. I ran into her club in New York City. How's your dad? He disappeared. I'm like, your dad disappeared. And she goes, you know what happened, Larry. They took him. They took the business and killed him. Crazy, man. Back then, it was just attrition. You know?
Yeah, if you don't want to play ball, they'll kill you.
Yeah, no cameras, no snitches.
Oh,
No, back then, don't forget, you couldn't rob, you can't do anything today without getting caught. I mean, honestly, with all the surveillance cameras all over the street, the clubs, people's cell phones, what are you going to do? You can't steal a pack of gum from a stationery store without, you know. That's why, you know, everyone's
I think with
busted.
satellites, they could see anything going on outside.
Oh, right. Anything. So you're out there, man. You're out there. You got to think twice before you be stupid because you're going to get caught. You know, you're going to get caught. We used to get, you know, we got in fights. It wasn't on film. No one took out a phone. We would have killed them back then if they had a phone.
Now you get in a fight, you go to jail.
Oh, right. You can't film you with a pager. That's all they had back then. It was pagers.
Well,
man.
now the TVs have cameras built into them because
it's
phones, everything.
But again, that's, you know,
you're constantly being surveilled.
That's the government.
And you have to.
I'll go to a doctor and say,
oh, you go to a doctor?
Yeah.
Are you a doctor? doctor worshiper. He always breaks my balls because I go to the doctor regularly.
What? Who else are you gonna go to? What are you, fucking somebody with some
Ask
beads
him.
on?
Ask Mister.
I'm just saying that most things that the doctor told me, I did the opposite, and I'm fine.
You're
When
fine.
they gave me two,
You're fucking
when they
fine.
gave me 2 atrial fibrillation procedures, that's when I started having problems with my They ruined my heart, as far as I'm concerned. I didn't need those procedures.
He doesn't believe in doctors.
No, they're
When
very.
was the first time you saw a doctor? You worked in a hospital. I mean, how hard is to find one?
Well, I didn't really want to. I really didn't want to. They were giving me bad advice and a bad diagnosis, is telling me that I had diverticulitis. When in the meantime, my appendix popped.
No shit.
That's not diverticulitis.
But you had appendix. That you could watch that, man.
Well,
Yeah,
they do misdiagnose. I'll give you that. But that's why you get second or third opinions. You know.
Yeah, there's a middle ground. I think it's about finding a doctor you trust, one that thinks free thinking.
Good point.
One
Good
that
point.
The
doesn't
one
just
that
go by
told
the
you
book.
you needed a liver transplant.
That's the same one, yeah, because I was taking Anadrol, my liver enzymes are
Where'd you
high.
go to, like a village in Africa to meet this guy?
Down the road here in Delray, prominent doctor. He said I need to be on a list. 15 years later, here I am. I was taking Anadrol at the time. He didn't understand. I was telling him
See,
too.
they don't know.
They don't know about.
They don't know that.
They don't know.
man. What the hell?
That's why you really, got to find, if you're an athlete, you got a sports medicine doctor. And you got to be honest with them. You got to tell them, listen, this is what's going on.
We're working with Revive now. You know Mike, Polish
Yes,
Mike.
yes.
He's hooking us up for a while. So.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it. Well, look at the prices he charges. My God.
It's not that bad.
For what?
For us.
Well, for you guys. For the no, let's take that back.
What is your regimen now at your age?
Right now, all I could take is testosterone.
Okay.
I had an AFib flutter at Christmas. I don't know what happened. My heart's perfect.
Were you on medication at the time?
No, man, nothing. I was taking growth hormone, which I've taken for like 13 years, and test. That's my
How many IUs of GH? were you?
two. And I'm like, at the time when I got the AFib flutter, I was 287. So I was 20 some odd pounds heavier than this, and just had my regimen. And I had an AFib flutter, which is probably attested to the metal poisoning I had in my body. It causes cardiomyopathy. So because when they did everything on my heart to check my valves, it was perfect, absolutely perfect. Not even a tiny bit enlarged.
I
but
bet
all
your
athletes are.
arteries were clean. There was no plaque.
Perfect.
I think the GH eats all that up.
Perfect. They were perfect.
Because mine is too on that regard.
Well, the GH is phenomenal. When I had the hip surgeries, they told me to inject the GH right into my hip.
And they prescribed it.
I don't want to go, when you prescribe it, you know how much it costs?
Yeah.
It's $2,000. You get a nice guy from the
kid,
street,
yeah.
you know him, you shake his hand, you pay.
400,
Yeah. It's $2,000, man.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't go far either, one kid.
Yeah, I know.
So how's your diet, Norm? How many meals do you typically eat?
I try to have, about 5 a day, now with the heart thing, I really, watch. I haven't had any stimulants or caffeine for 5 months, which is amazing. Because Italian guy living without coffee is just, that's like...
And you were a lifetime
like
coffee
having to be
drinker.
a sex addict and having to live
No
by
kidding.
yourself. Same shit. So what happened is
What
that...
about decaf?
Some I drink the decaf. I'm like trying to fool my body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have 2 cups of decaf in the morning, watch my little news, and say, "Wow, I'm wide awake." Did nothing.
Yeah.
I might as well drink cat piss. So fucking right. So I have the smoothie in the morning, make my own smoothies, and then I have a meal take all the meds for the heart. I have to take about 5 meds right now, Mom.
What are you taking? Do you have a
Dioxin, Xarelto. I forget all the names. My wife's a doctor. She'll tell me what it is.
Oh, she's a doctor.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah. So what happened is that I take my meds, eat my food, then eat a food after that, and I try to have. I eat a lot of protein pasta, ground turkey, ground beef, baked potatoes. My regimen's solid. I drink carabolin for carbohydrates before the gym, so it gives me a little pop.
Sure.
I'm just trying to stay on a regimen. I can't take things like we used to eat. We just can't. We both have issue with our heart, so yours is different, mine's different, but still we have to eat the same.
Yeah.
So you gotta. I don't eat sugars. Stuff like that. I stay away from.
Yeah, I'm off those pretty much.
Yeah. Listen, you gotta.
How often do you train?
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Adapt or die. How much do I train? I'd be in the gym right now. I love trying. I go 7 days a week.
No shit?
Yeah. I take my days off when I feel it. I'm a junkie. It's like brushing my teeth. I love it.
You ever get fatigued? Did you know that your heart?
It's time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I get that. I don't like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
time.
the oxygen; it's the heart.
Yeah.
I can distinctly tell, and I've been getting that the past 4 years, and it's really been depressing.
But again, the biggest thing you can't do is you can't bear down on doing T-bar rows with 7-8 plates. plates. You just can't bear down and explode.
Yeah.
You know, so you really got to modify your weights, use machines more. But again, that's as you get older. When we were young, we used to make fun of guys our age because all they did was use machines. Yeah. Like call them pussies. Now I'm a pussy because I became that fucking guy.
The way you look now, I mean, I wish I'd look half that good.
Yeah, listen, I went over to Delray today after work to get in a workout, and I used all the hammer strength. Shit.
Yeah,
it's great. It is good.
But listen, like him and me,
yeah, I do actually.
Both of us, we're training probably around 30% right now. Yeah. I'm training around 30% of what I was.
That's what my heart function is. 30%.
Yeah, but then I was on the money. But I try to explain. I met Jimmy Polici and I were friends, right? We were when I was in Northridge Golds.
Jimmy the Bull
Polici.
Oh, okay.
Beast.
So you know Jimmy, okay.
Beast and a good guy. Me and him had a bet one time. This is how strong I was. He said because I could curl a lot of weight. As many reps, Larry, you do with 2.25 on a straight bar. He goes, I'll do it with 315. All right. I got 13 reps with 2.25. And I remember one of the kids said, "You're cheating." No fucking shit. It's 2.25. You know, of course I'm cheating. I was parallel half the time, just trying to get the weight up strapped on. So I did it for 13. He did 315 for 15.
Holy shit.
We're talking curls.
How big is he? How tall is
he? He wasn't that big, man. His legs weren't that big. His upper body was massive. You know, I spotted him one time. His partner spotted him, but I was watching. With a spot, he did 800 pounds raw. With a spot. I don't give a shit. I mean, how much you could spot 800 pounds? He got it up. You know, he was a beast. He was with Metrex at the time. Remember Metrex? The old, he was their Metrex boy. But, you know, but you alter yourself. You can't. I even get tired of talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like telling kids, like, you know what I used to do? Now I'm starting to sound like one of those fucking has-been fucking one, you know, like never was.
It's good motivation. Like for me, being 28, it puts things in perspective. Like, wow, I'm supposed to be in the prime right now. These are the type of things that I should be doing, you know? So
I think it needs to be
you have great, listen, you have great genetics. You don't just push yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to let yourself loose.
Exactly, because when we're there, it's kind of like I'm focusing half on filming and half on... I'm not
well, even when you're not filming, I mean, just do it on your own. I mean, you know, I know you guys got the show, and it's hard to train when you're doing the show. I get that. It's impossible to have an intense, crazy workout.
Here's the thing. A lot of them want that. So I think a good strategy for me and him would be to just focus more on an intense workout and not even talk during an episode.
Listen, yesterday I did back. I did 6 back exercises with 5 sets per exercise, and I was done in an hour and 10 minutes. Hour and 10. Heavy.
That's what I told them. The last time I went and filmed with them,
that's a lot of poundage volume. All those heavy reps.
The day after St. Patty's Day.
Pulling 30, 40,000 pounds.
Easy. You know, if I look at it that way, you say, I'm sorry.
It's the workout that they do would take you 30 minutes, but they're there for an hour and a half because of the bullshit.
Because of the bullshit.
Filming.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I have to defend this mentality, the Mike Quinn mentality, shut up and fucking train mentality, you know, which I love. I have a kid right now that works out with me. He's 30 years old. He was 180, no drugs. He weighs 220 now in 1 year. No drugs.
40 pounds of muscle. That's
40 pounds at 30 years old because he never really knew how to eat, how to do his work, and listen, don't ever go to the gym guys out there and think you know what the fuck you're doing and now how to put together body parts. Talk to people. You learn from guys my age, Lenny's. You learn from us. I mean,
now do you have a set schedule? Like he does.
Yes.
He's just has to do legs on fucking Monday.
Yes, I'm like him.
Diverting from that.
Yes, it's like going to church on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do chest, arms, hamstrings, and calves. Back. I have an off day on Friday. I touch on miscellaneous weak points. Friday is shoulders, legs on Sunday.
And he's in there for those weak points. A lot of people would blow that workout off.
Yeah. Well, actually, on this Sunday, the kids will probably comment. They commented last time. I had about 9 kids from age 16 to 18. I went there on Sunday at 4 o'clock. My wife wrote out all the foods they should be eating with ounces, calories, and fats and proteins.
Great.
Actually, I'll give you a copy.
Great.
So, and it was like a menu they could choose from, how many meals they should eat. And we did chest. I taught them how to do chest. I showed them literally 15 to 18 exercises, but how to put them together. You know, start with incline. They all want to look like bodybuilders. But every Sunday I do that now at 4 o'clock. And I know it's going to get more and more and more because the kids talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't realize, they thought they were doing it and they have no realize, you know, they cut short here when they're coming to prep, you know, which, you know, you gotta teach them. They don't know. You don't make fun of them. You got to teach them.
A lot of them rely on, you know, online and YouTube
Very
to
much.
teach them, but you need somebody there.
They're pros.
Right.
You're going to go online and listen to who? Jay Cutler?
Even if it is...
You know, you're a kid starting?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Even
let's
if
get
you-
the 100-pound dumbbells and curl them, right?
Right, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. No, you're right.
It's all right. I was just saying something about
Well,
that.
no, because when you're lifting by yourself, you're not, unless you're able to look in the mirror, you can't see what
No,
kind
form,
of form you have.
without a doubt.
And if you're with somebody that knows, they
Right.
can adjust your arms to where they need
Right.
to be, your hands, all that
Right.
shit.
You know, and kids are today, they right away, they just start wanting to lift weights and they film themselves and they have abs. Yeah, guys, everyone has abs at 120 pounds.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, be 257 with abs and call me.
There's a lot of that at the Lantana gym. Is there like a nearby high school or something?
Yes, Park Vista.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's-
Good school.
yeah.
Great school. Great school. Good athletics, too.
That's where my son went.
Great school.
Yeah.
Good athletics. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
miniature college.
Yeah.
Phenomenal school. But yeah, a lot of kids come and but they again, that's how I started. I didn't really bodybuild till I was 31 years old because I was an athlete and all my friends were the best. They were Quinn, they were all great, but I just wasn't my thing back then.
What'd you do as an athlete?
I was phenomenal at baseball.
Heard you're in the Yankees farm system.
No, it was my dad. My dad actually made the Yankees.
No kidding.
Yeah, he got drafted World War II. I pitched. I was in the Twins farm system. I had 2 elbow surgeries. Ended my career as a pitcher. But I was
Tommy
a freaking
John surgery?
No, back then they just cut you wide open, take out things.
Tommy John can actually help you.
Yeah, Tommy John's amazing. These kids that have Tommy John, they come back strong. But what happened is that I was good in high school. I was all state in baseball and in football, and I was all city in basketball. Believe it or not, you can give me a hockey puck, I could play hockey. Just got to teach me how to skate. So I was a natural athlete. So I didn't want to. And I was benching, and my friends will attest today. I was 19 years old. I could bench 405. I was just a freak of nature, like strength wise. You know, I didn't want to bodybuild because it restricted my motions because I wanted to be an athlete.
Yeah,
So
the girls like the athletes,
yes,
particularly back
and
then.
I married a girl that was the hottest girl in where we lived. I married her, and her name was Debbie. She was absolutely stunning. She was a professional ballroom dancer. So you imagine a body she had. So what happened? I moved to L.A. One of my best friends were out there. I got transferred there for my job. And if you guys look him up, his name is Richie Bros. Richie Bros.
Yes, I've
Was
heard of
one
him.
of my
I've seen him.
best friends in the world. And Richie, if you watch the show, I love you, brother. But what happened is that he was Arnold's stuntman for Conan. So you can imagine the built on this dude. And he was he was Conan at Universal Studios. And he was gorgeous. I mean gorgeous. And his wife was Miss California. I mean, the perfect couple.
Remember the Muscle and Fitness? He had the T-shirt,
Yes.
tuxedo,
Yes.
holding a tuna.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
that.
He was on
Do
everything.
you remember that shit?
So, you know, I walk into the gym with him on Northridge Golds. The first day I'm there, he introduces me to Corey Everson, Chuck Norris, Victor Richards, this guy, that guy, what body, Albert Beckles, all legends are in this gym. And I remember introducing me to Corey Everson, and I was like, and he goes, Larry, why didn't you like talk to Corey? I didn't even recognize her without her makeup. And she was built like a brick shit house. And we ended up training a lot together. But it was just an amazing time. So Richie got me involved. He had to give me my first shot of testosterone. He gave me my first shots for about 6 months. I was terrified.
Really?
You know, I was 31 years old. I was like a fucking virgin.
How were the results?
Then I got into it.
Yeah.
Then I started fucking growing and just nuts, strength, and didn't realize, you know, curling with hundreds, fucking, you know, playing with shit.
What would you say was your favorite compound?
I was a basic, man. Deca and Test, maybe.
D-ball?
Nah, I got too bloated. You know, you look at a water balloon on that stuff if you don't know what you do. And I wasn't eating properly. Like I was just still, I'm learning, and I wasn't eating properly. Probably, you know, and I would take some maybe equipoise. Equipoise would be the other one, sorry. Yeah, so, you know, it was a basic cycle, but I had genetics. I never relied on drugs. I had genetics, and I trained like a fucking motherfucker. You know, and I still do. For my age, pretty much put anyone on the bed, right? I mean, I still do.
And I have a DVD of his show you were on, First and 10, with OJ Simpson on
best.
HBO in the 80s.
That was the best.
You're hitting a one-man tackling sled, and your hamstrings, you look like Christian Okoye.
Yeah,
You got
remember
that
him?
big flaring
The Nigerian
hamstring
Nightmare.
quad. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
You had the long
fun.
hair, what do they call it, the mullet in the back?
I had a ponytail. No, dude, I wasn't
The
a
flame.
fucking mullet.
Well,
Fuck, I would never have a fucking mullet. What am I, from South Carolina? Grew up in a my friends would kill me.
This was the 80s.
It wasn't a mullet. It was a Steven Seagal ponytail, motherfucker.
Well, like some people used to call it flames, you know.
Oh, I had my hair. It's right. My God, I had it cut on the side with lines.
Yeah.
And I had the earring.
Like a Brian like a Brian Bosworth.
Before Brian Bosworth, though. Because my cousin was out there as a barber, and he used to love fucking with my hair because I was a bodyguard at the time, and I did First and 10.
Yeah, I'm going to get that footage out out of storage and find DVD player and put it up online.
It was awesome.
So
and
you-
hanging out with OJ.
So in a locker room too.
I definitely killed his wife, bro. Without a fucking
That's what I was just
doubt.
gonna ask.
Definitely. We had breakfast at 6 a.m. His wife would sit at the table. Like, she looked like...
She was a co-core, wasn't she?
She like shit. It was 6 a.m. So he'd show up in a Testarossa Ferrari. She'd show up in a limousine, Juice 1, Juice 2, right? So she would come sit next to him, and you couldn't even like look at her because he was that fucking jealous. We were like a bunch of extras. We were extras. We were making $100. And when we had a scene where we got to clobber somebody on the football field, they gave us what they call bump money. So say a quarterback was rolling out and he was a stunt man, and I got to fucking knock him into the cups and into the wall or something like that. I would get an extra couple $100. So they would go, Larry, earn your money. I had to paralyze the guy. He was dead when I hit him. But it was awesome. We had LT, we had Lawrence Taylor, we had every celebrity on that show. That was a great show, man.
It was. I enjoyed it.
It was a great show. It had a lot of stars on it. If you look at them now, they're older stars.
Funny.
We had, what's her name? The one that married Gene Simmons. What's her name? The Playmate. Mm-hmm. She was on the show. She did a striptease one time in our locker room. Yeah, that was kind of a neat scene to film.
You had a lot of slobs that had no business being on football.
Oh, no. Dude, we had so much fun, man. We'd be filming like shower scenes, like in the locker room. You'd have towels on, and half the time you're walking through the thing, the guy would rip your fucking towel off, your butt naked in front of everybody, I used to put my towel on and put a belt, my belt underneath, and it folded over. So these guys were motherfuckers. You're all of a sudden you're butt naked in front of like 50 people.
Like a swingers club.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And OJ, he was a good dude. He had the biggest head I've ever seen in my life. They used to make fun. They called him Head. They called him the Head. And they made fun of him. They said when he played in Buffalo, they couldn't find him a helmet, so they just bolted his face mask into his forehead. He was a good dude. He killed his wife. I keep saying that, but I think he did.
Nah, he
One
admitted to
statement
it.
kind of contradicts the other, bro.
Okay, correct me. What is it?
No, I'm joking. Because you said he definitely killed his wife. He's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, listen. What's that saying? Can't live with him, you can't kill him. He just proved us wrong. He just broke the theory.
Fuck,
Is he still around today?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he got out.
Just
got out.
cigar somewhere?
I heard he worked with Craig Titus to lose weight in prison. They were in the same facility.
Are you kidding me?
And they were
I
always
didn't
in
know
the
that.
yard talking. Craig gave him a die in there, and it
Oh
was
my
great.
god, because he was a fat pig, OJ.
Yeah.
Craig Titus. My God, he
Yeah, I
killed
think
that woman.
I
He set
think
her on
O-
fire. Oh
I think OJ's on Twitter and that shit. He posts stuff from time to time.
I mean, how did that? You watch. I lived through that. How did that happen? I mean, how did he walk? They made it an ethnic thing, and he walked.
That's it.
It was horrible.
Just
man.
like they
it's
do
like
with
today
everything
with all
else,
the
yeah.
systemic racism. I'm sick of it.
What does
man.
that mean?
I have to look it up.
Yeah, who
What
the
does it
fuck
mean?
knows?
System? That means we're white and we hate black people.
And the sad
basically.
is,
I mean, it's
kids
just not-
believe it. The blacks think they're
Well,
being
that's all that-
discriminated against.
that's-
They're taught that.
Dude, when
and
I'm
the
in-
whites are taught that they're evil.
Right.
We live in the real world, not
Yes.
watching TV. The media will make you think that there's a huge problem between whites and
Yes.
blacks, but I work with
Oh,
a bunch of blacks.
yes.
I work with all different types. There's no fucking issues,
Right.
man.
Larry used to
it's
talk to
such
everybody
horseshit.
about
Oh, you go to the
Yeah.
gym with me, man.
Everybody.
You go to the gym with me. I have so many black people hug me. You think I'm the part of their family.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I mentor these kids, Lamar, Shamar, Corey. I mentor about 5 black children. They're all 18. Look phenomenal. I help them with their weightlifting. We go out to dinner once a month and we talk. We talk about everything. We talk about police. I just want them not just to be, just when a cop pulls you over, don't try to take his fucking gun. Don't spit on him. There are consequences. My father would have kicked the shit out of me even if I talked bad to a cop.
Yeah.
But that's the way we were raised. Cops are not targets, man. Because guess what? Tonight, if somebody breaks into your fucking house, who are you going to call?
Exactly.
Ghostbusters? It ain't going to fucking happen. You're going to call the fucking cops. Honestly, all of us.
That takes some serious balls. I mean, they're willing to put their lives on the line
Every day.
every day. So you got to think in their shoes. Just walking up to a random window, you have no idea what this person's about.
And they all get killed that way.
yeah.
When they start suing police departments getting $27 million, that's who's
Yeah, that last...
$27 million to his family?
It's something. I was born in New York City, raised in New York City. Those are the baddest cops in the world. They're tough as hell. Never disrespect them. They're always. Listen, there was a video on this morning. There was a cop. A car flipped over. Black woman with her family. She got stuck in the car, and a little boy or somebody was in the back. This cop, I got to get a picture of him. They're trying to get him on Fox. That he flipped the car over by himself. and he saved the people. Where is that story?
Yeah, right.
Where the fuck is that story? There are bad cops. They fuck up. That thing with George Floyd was, the guy's a fucking asshole. And guess what? He deserves what he gets. But there's a lot of, if you put yourselves in their position, you're going to fucking talk. They want to send social workers to a fucking domestic dispute.
Good luck.
Good luck. I don't give a shit. You look like me or anybody. You're getting fucking shot. Especially guys my size. I'm the first guy to get shot in a fucking crowd. Yeah. Let's kill the big guy before he does something, It's my whole life has been like that. Crazy, right?
So how many times would you say you had a load of gun pulled on you in your life? Not to bring up any bad memories.
Couple times. One went right through my shoulder. I got shot. Yeah. Guy pointed at a club and he got kind of bumped or he was drunk and aimed it at my head and poof, went right through this, hit the bone and went right around my shoulder. I've been, because I'm, I lose my mind when I was stupid. Road rage. Guy cuts me off, gives me the finger. I'm diving in his fucking windows, trying to pull him out of the car. And then he pulls up to the next light, pulls a Glock on me. And thank God I've always had fast cars. So I can pull the fuck away. But it happens, man. You got to, today, can't fool around.
No.
You can't even beat at people anymore.
No, you can't have a fight. You can't, it's not even worth it. The kid will go in his car, come back, shoot you.
Anyone can have a gun in Florida.
This is scary. No, you're 100% right. I'm terrified of that, and I'm not afraid of anything. But I would be afraid of a kid, that 19-year-old, come in,
We're afraid of a 52-year-old fat power lifter wants to shoot us. Big J.
Twice. You guys an argument with him?
Because we excommunicated him from the Misfits.
Oh, you threw him out. Yeah, I know. I saw the videos. I know pretty much everybody.
From that gym down where Woolard had on.
Yeah.
Down Walmart,
Yeah, I know all these guys. You run into them here and there. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm searching for their names. My Big Larry is kind of synonymous with me, so it's easy for them to remember my name.
You don't forget.
Synthol Mark, yes. Yeah. Yes, I knew him too.
You don't forget a guy like Larry. You know what's sad? I'll be in Publix or whatever, and a guy will come up to me. Hey, Lenny, how you doing? I say, do I know you? He says, yeah, from the gym. And I'm thinking, I bet that video. I never saw him in my life.
God. It's so much. It's awesome.
What are you going to
do? I went to the new gym recently, the Boynton one, the Signature Club.
Yeah.
I heard
it took me literally an hour to get my workout started because I am very much a people person, and if I don't see you for a little bit and you start talking, I'm not going to come in like I gotta fucking train. I'm on pre-workout. It's fucking wearing off. I'm not doing that.
I'm like that.
Yeah, you're like that.
We've done it.
Yeah. So I say hi to everybody and just give them hugs, and it's like I said, it's a frat, it's a team, bunch of friends like us. We don't see each other for a long time. I was so excited to see them. You could tell
for the people that are serious about it, not the ones that are just going there for a photo op and to hook up.
Yeah, because don't forget, you're not talking to them anyway.
Yeah,
I don't talk to them. I'm not. I laugh at them.
Yeah,
or I make faces at them. I'm not gonna, But I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're training. Your friends filming you. What are you guys fucking? What do you do next? Go naked and film each other?
That's like, that's what they were doing last week.
Is that what I missed?
With that other Motor City moron? Everybody's filming all at the same time. It was a big love fest. I thought you guys were all going to suck each other's dick.
Right?
I thought you guys were all going to blow each other by the end of that workout.
Can you admit how
you look
that
great.
kind of was at one point when it was all six of us with like 3 cameras out.
I wasn't expecting all that.
That's why I was wandering around all the time.
What a shit.
Everybody looking, people asking to take pictures.
And you don't realize
oh man,
you don't realize how cringy it is until you watch the video of it and you see other people in the background.
It's creepy, man. It's creepy, man. I could never.
Total
I would turn around and tell everybody, shut those fucking phones off. You know how I am. I'll light everybody up.
I see Guy's sister Nina did that on the hack squad. You see that clip the other day?
No.
People were laughing. He was in doubt.
Oh,
yeah, you sent me that. That was good.
Yeah.
He posted that on his own Instagram.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that. I had the cops called on me about 2 months ago.
This is a good one. Tell him.
This is a good story. Right. So I'm in the gym. I'm helping somebody get ready for a show. So I'm not training.
At the LA Fitness?
At the LA where I train, at Lantana.
Yeah.
So what happens is there's a guy in a leg press. He doesn't have the thing unclipped. He has it still up. So all he's doing is doing a leg press and banging on the posts.
He wasn't doing he wasn't doing calves. He was just
he was doing legs, but moving it 6 inches, and it was like this. Boom, boom, boom. It was like I was in a fucking steel mill. I mean, it was amazing.
Break the fucking machine.
I'm getting a headache. The kids are all looking. No one's going over. So I'm like, it did it for about 10 minutes. So I go over. He's doing it. It's yelling, and I'm yelling at while I'm walking. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Are you fucking stupid? Do you know how to fucking use this thing? He goes, I gotta use that tomorrow. You're gonna break the fucking thing, I said. So he looks at me and he goes, as I'm getting closer, now he hears me and he goes, get away from me. Get away from me. And I'm like this. I said, oh, I should have known you're a fucking retard. And his wife, I didn't even know, was standing right next to him. Imagine me, this guy, and me yelling and calling him a retard, and your wife standing right there. Right? So what happens is that he goes, get away, and he does it again. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna have a nervous fucking breakdown. So I didn't know, give him a pill. So I fucking leave. Now he's doing it again and staring at me in the gym. So now I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding. I don't do any, you can't do nothing in the gym. It's your church.
Right.
I'm not gonna do anything.
And you don't want to.
I'll go outside and have a fucking field day. But so what happens is that I'm leaving with the same people, and he's filing a complaint up front. As I see him filing it with the kid that came in the back that heard all the noise. So I'm like, oh, you're filing a complaint, imbecile? I said, here's the spelling of my fucking name. Larry Diodato. Diodato. Right? All right, I'm sorry. So I give him my name, and then he goes, that's the guy. That's the guy who threatened me. And I'm like, I threatened you? Yeah, and he put his hands on me. I said, first of all, my friend, check this out. I'm going to give you a threat. I'm going to rip your fucking head off, wipe my ass with your face, and throw your head in the parking lot. That's a fucking threat, I said. And the guy looks at me and goes, oh my God. And he takes a lot of steroids. And that was like hitting the missile button at NASA for me. I lost my fucking mind after that, right? Like, who the fuck are you? And then, I said, you're the kind of guy who gets a lawyer, calls the cops, and I didn't do anything to you. And there's witnesses everywhere, and boom. So I leave. About 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by. I get a phone call. It's my daughter. It's my nephew. They're all at the gym. Larry, the cops are here. They're looking for you. And I'm like, I'll be right there. I'm like saying I'm coming. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm coming back. So I get in my car. I fly back to the gym. Cops outside taking a statement with the husband and wife. And I walk in. Officer, as I sit down with the officer, some cops are leaving. Larry, what's going on? Because the cops all know me in the gym, So go, Larry, what's going on? This is Larry, man. We all know Larry. Larry's great, right? So guys, oh, it's okay, guys. I just need to talk to Larry, get a statement. So the guy goes, so Larry, what happened? He said he put your hands on him. I said, if I put my hands on him, he wouldn't be giving you a statement. Right. I said, that's fucking number one. You'd be putting him with straps in an ambulance and he'd be gurgling. I said, and that's one. I said, number two, he says, he's lying. I didn't do a thing. So long and the short of it, I make my statement. I get a call from the regional director of LA Fitness the next day. Hi. This is the regional director. Hi, I'm sorry what happened yesterday. I was just defending your club, I said. I didn't do anything wrong. And he goes, Larry, I'm not calling you about that. He goes, I spoke to management. He says, people love you. I just wanted to thank you for defending the club. Good. And he says, we expelled the member and his wife. Great. And I'm like, oh my God. I said, that's not necessary. I said, he's a dick, but that's not necessary. He goes, Larry, no, it wasn't necessary. He did this at our Boynton Beach club. He called the cops and said somebody threatened him, and nobody threatened him. He's just, he's got psychological problems. Or I could have been right. My mental diagnosis being a fucking retard. So, so the cops ruined my day. But the next day, the story, you know how the grapevine works. Larry killed somebody and he got off.
Fucking Big Richard got banned from LA Fitness for yelling at a guy because he was parking in a handicap spot.
No way.
It happened outside the gym. It didn't even happen inside the fucking gym.
How come you're not allowed at Redcon?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because of what it says on his shirt. They give off weird energy.
The girl at the desk.
Put the mic up to your face.
And now we actually have
Lenny.
a Weird Energy pre-workout. We have a pre-workout coming out in the next couple of weeks.
So they got mad that you were advertising your...
No,
I don't know. With Blessing's trainer came up to us. He recognized me, spoke to me. I spoke to Blessing. Yeah. We joked around. And then Rob comes in there. What was that? You go by yourself next week? And then
the owner doesn't want any affiliation with the Misfits. That was the reasoning.
You guys, why? I mean, those are the kind of people who go to his gym. I mean, his gym's a gym.
Yeah, we had tons of fans.
Yeah.
And they did nothing but praise that gym after that. When we came on a podcast after they went, they gave nothing but good reviews on it.
Things they had there were incredible.
No, I haven't seen stuff like that in years. And some of the new stuff is so innovative. Everything's anatomically perfect.
And the lights are dim, and it's a good way. It helps you focus. Yes. I can't describe it.
Yes. No, because the lights we train all the gyms make you blind when you walk in.
Yeah. Right. And you got Kai Green and Blessing. I remember that. Trying to squat and getting blind and getting dizzy.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. No, that gym was perfectly built. It's a little small, but the equipment's amazing. I'm just like, when I saw that in your episodes, and why would that happen? Unless you guys would be in dicks, but because we know Jim Willard's in there. That's what I saw Jim Willard in there when I went a couple of times. Yeah. And it was great to see him. Then I ran into everybody. Everybody was in there.
Well, Jim Willard kicked me out of his gyms, though.
Which one?
All of them. And he wouldn't let me in his new one.
Oh, level 5?
Yeah, I tried to go there. I don't know.
That's Palm Beach Gym now, right?
No, it's a Walmart.
Oh.
It's the one on Federal Highway.
Oh, the Walmart supermarket.
Yeah,
It's not,
so on Federal between
Gotcha,
Lincoln
I know.
and yeah, it used to be that gym. You never got to train there?
Never. Well, actually, yeah, I snuck in there once and he found out. He told the desk, don't let this guy in. I don't know.
When I had my company down the street, we used to, from 2 to 4, all my guys got to train there. So I had about 30 or 40 of my guys. I had about 80 and 90 employees at the time. And we let all the guys who work out train from 2 to 4 because they worked a lot of nights.
Oh, that's great.
On the phone. So
Wow.
my wife was there and there was a gay guy at the door. At that time, they used to call it Hot Man Hour, the gay guy.
I think Jay was going there too at that time. That's
But that gym, I went there for years. I almost got arrested there too with Big Dwight. Remember Big Dwight?
Yeah.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Me and Dwight go out to dinner like every other weekend. Yeah, you guys can come with us. We have a nice Italian restaurant down the street. You guys will meet us there on a Sunday night.
In Delray?
Have dinner with
Downtown
us.
Delray?
Cucina Moderna. It's right on Boynton Beach. It's my friend Fabio's place. Boynton Beach and Lions. It's a beautiful restaurant, indoor-outdoor bar.
Okay.
Kind of like a Rocco's. Rocco's is
where
best friend.
where the Wawa is?
Yes.
Okay.
Rocco, exactly, right where it is. And
Last time I saw Dwight, he was training a busybody.
Yes.
He's still there?
He's training people at home right now because of the COVID. So all his clients are at home and they want to stay at home. You guys see how big he is? He's about 360.
He was up, Andrew saw him in South Carolina.
He's a beast. Yeah, he went down with Defenders.
Oh.
Yeah, he went there with Defenders. So what happened one time, me and him at level 5, I get a phone call. He was my training partner for a long time. When I stopped with you guys, I trained with him because of his strength. His strength was out of control. So I get a call. I'm in a suit every day. So he gives me a call. I get a call. He says, Larry, you got to get to level 5. Dwight has just lost his fucking mind. He's throwing fucking shit around. And I'm like, and he goes, and no,
You're the only one that can calm him down.
Yeah, right. I'm like his dad almost. So he goes, you got to come down. So I run down, suit and tie. He's in the middle of the gym. He took all the condiments, all the bars and everything and put them in a fucking pile. Because what happened, he was supersetting and people were taking his shit. So he says, now no one can have fucking nothing. He took every handle, every fucking lap bar. And I ain't lying. And he put it in a fucking pile. And there was another black guy there screaming at him. Well, the guy worked for me. And the guy, he's the one who called the cops. And the guy worked for me. His name was Ed. So I walk in and I see him. And people are like terrified. Larry's over there. I run over. I said, dude, what are you doing? And he goes, what? This guy? And I'm like, dude, he's a wimp. I said, what did he do to you? He kept taking my bar. And then he complained about me. And he's Jamaican, with that accent. And I can't even understand him half the fucking time. So he goes, and he's complaining about me. And I think they called the cops. I'm like, oh, man, bro, really? I said, we're leaving. And he goes, I'm not leaving. I said, get your shit. I said, we're fucking leaving right now. He gets his shit, right? And we leave. I walk out the front doors. There's a squad car here, a squad car there, and a squad car there. Because they called in, and he's so massive, they sent 3 fucking police units. Right? I walk out. I'm in a tie and a shirt. I have my jacket on. And the cops go, what's your name? All 3, and they have their hands. They see 2 guys our size. I'm like, this is fucking scary, man.
Yeah.
Because they're not exactly going to fucking pat me down. The guy go, my name is Larry. Boom. I tell my name. What's your name? He goes, I don't have to tell you anything.
Oh, geez.
I was looked at him like this. Right? The cops are staring at me. And I said, listen, check this out. Now the tasers are coming out. I said, when I wake up from this, I'm going to fucking kill you. I said, everybody, you know what happened? The cops started laughing. They started laughing because it was just a moment. It kind of broke up the moment with the tasers. I said, I'm going to kill you when I wake up. So he told them the name and nothing really happened and they let us walk away. Thank fucking God.
And that was the end of the membership there?
No, Jim Willard came to my bodybuilding shows. He never went to anyone's shows. Even Mark Alvisi, he never went to Mark's shows.
We used to see Mark at the Delray LA Film.
I sponsored Mark.
Oh, yeah.
When he won the USA, I was with him.
Keep in contact with him now?
No, but I'm gonna
Is he
call
still
him.
around here?
Yes.
What is he doing?
He's training people.
Oh, okay, good.
No, I'm gonna call him. I love Mark. Mark and I had a very close. He was very close with my wife. My wife and him did the USA together.
He was very quiet whenever we'd see him in the morning at LA Fitness Store. He used to be on the Stairmaster all the time.
He
Yeah.
used to have a little nutrition store at their old gym, too,
he
a
did.
little bit.
His wife was girl. Ava Cohen was
Yeah, she
unbelievable.
was- yeah.
You ever look her up? You ever go see her?
That was
Ava Cohen?
VPX.
Oh,
Or no, that was, what was he? Who sponsored him? Gaspari.
Gaspari.
Before that, I think.
Gaspari.
Yeah.
Oh, BPX was before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He was top notch.
He was Andrew's age. I always used to tell Andrew, Mark's eating your lunch, man. You got to get back into bodybuilding.
Yeah. Well, he had the same structure as Mark.
Yeah.
Andrew. Because Mark was very aesthetic. He was about 220, but no waist. And he could do a vacuum. He had no waist.
Great
Beautiful
shoulder
legs,
width.
great shoulders, great arms. And he was handsome as shit. Good looking kid. But we sponsored. I paid for all his food. Gaspari was his sponsor per se, but I paid for Mark's food every week. I had him on my payroll. He would show up and get a check for $600, go shopping.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then we went to the USA, and when he won, I never forget us hugging backstage so hard. I had all this protein after we go out. He just was holding me and just yelling, "Can you believe it? We did it. We did it." And that's the love of the sport.
His
How
father
hard he worked.
died when he was younger. He didn't have a father,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. So we had a great relationship. Then he got caught up in some bad stuff, so it was a shame.
Getting the wrong crowd. Yeah, they'll do it.
Yeah, and that's that bodybuilding mentality is that, and Mark had that a little bit, and I hated that about him, is when you won, you expected people to do things for you. And just because you became a pro, that's when the hard shit starts. Now you got to make your way up the ladder. Now you're Mr. USA, you're on the cover of all these magazines, which he was.
Yeah.
And now you're not getting that major money you thought you would get $500,000.
He was getting that as an amateur, plus your help.
Yeah, he was making money.
Yeah,
I took care of him. He was like, again, he was with me all the time. But and his girl was top. She won the Arnold. She won the Arnold in fitness. She was a figure. She won the Arnold. No jokes, man. They were top notch. Top notch. Not like us slackers. They were the real deal. We were the amateurs.
Wrong sport for us. That's all.
We're too tall.
It's good to see a tall guy.
I love being tall,
Yeah.
but not for bodybuilding. I'm too tall.
Some of those guys are just too short and bunched up.
Well, I'm not going to be something a Rottweiler would piss on either. I'm not going to be a fucking fire engine. It's like go through life and afterwards you're not big anymore and now you're a fucking Oompa Loompa.
Yeah,
No,
it
ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you can continue as long as your health goes. Keeping that muscle into your 70s.
Why not?
Because I'm looking online, something to look forward to. There's some guys out there, but I think with this generation of you guys who are more serious,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to see a lot of 70, 80-year-old freaks coming out of the
Well,
woodwork.
go punch up John Defenders what he looks like. He looks fucking
seen him. I'll
insane,
have to
man.
do that.
John looks phenomenal. He just tore his tricep and everything. He rebuilt it. He almost had a widowmaker too. Actually, he had a widowmaker.
hell.
He had heart problems. He was on the table while they were working on him, and he had a widowmaker heart attack while he was on the table.
He was lucky he
And
was
they
on the
saved
table.
him right there. Thank you.
Yeah.
But John,
How
looks great.
old is he?
John is about 55, but he looks phenomenal.
65.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's older than me.
you. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, because he was doing stuff in the 70s with Mahalik.
Yeah. I remember when his wife came up to me when he was training me. Well, he was so real though because I was about 8 weeks out from the West Palm, and I wanted him to train me and to help dial me in. So I went over to his house in Smith Farms, took my gear off, started posing, and I thought I looked insane because I was like 275, abs, I would look nuts. Finished on, he looks at me and he goes, Larry, I don't think you're going to make this show. I don't think I can help you. I'm like, God damn, what a kick in the balls that was. I thought I was going to be like, oh, you're awesome and we're going to win, and I don't think I can help you. And I was like, John, what do I have to do? Because I want you to help me. I never had a professional help me, so help me. You got to do everything I said. And I did everything he said. I ate 8 meals a day for 8 weeks. 8 meals and trained. So I'm into it for about 2 weeks. I'm 6 weeks out of the show. His wife comes up to me outside the gym and he goes, John wanted me to ask you a question. I'm like, why doesn't John just ask me the question? He goes, well, he's never asked this before, but he wants to train with you. Because I had crazy intensity, and he had crazy intensity volume. So he said, I said, are you kidding me? John wants to train with me. And you're asking, of course, I said. When do we start? Sunday morning. Go there Sunday morning. I have a half a cantaloupe in me. I'll never forget it. 7 in the morning. He must have had 25 fucking pancakes and oatmeal. I had a half a cantaloupe because I'm dieting. We do a workout. I think we did probably 16 or 1700 reps for back. I counted in the car because I had to have my wife. I lived 4 blocks away. I had my wife pick me up because I couldn't move. I had no memory. I had to look at my license to find out who the fuck I was. You know what I'm saying? I was that fucked up. And I never forgot that. And I said, wow, this is how you train when you're a pro? Okay, I'm into this shit. So he got me so fucking motivated. That's where my whole attitude changed about training. He probably taught me, he forgot more than he taught me. How's that? Because he knew so much. Wow. He was the old school. And we trained, and my God, he transformed me. And this is what he did. Because of my legs, and I was so tall, he said, we're not doing any cardio. I didn't do any cardio when I competed. He dieted me down because he didn't want me to lose my legs on the bike or on the Stairmaster or stuff like that. He dieted me down. It was amazing, man. And again, I did it for the love. I think I took second that show, but I did it for the love of the sport. The guy who beat me was like 5'4". You know, symmetry was perfect. No, he looked like I just went to the bathroom and he came out. That's it.
It's not a tall man's sport. It's
No, it ain't.
not, you know.
But you look. I rather, honestly, for myself, getting older, I'm so glad I'm not 5'4".
Yeah,
No
of course.
disrespect out there, but I'm just, I got lucky with my genetics. My mom's 5'1", who passed away. She's 5'1".
How tall is your dad?
6'3". So I got the genetics because I could have been the greatest bodybuilder in the world if I followed my mom.
That's what happened to Andrew Collura. His father was 6'3", his mother was like 5'1", 5'2".
Is it?
He got stuck with the short end. Of course, people accuse him of, stunting his growth plates as a teenager. Who knows? Because he was
Why? From he trained, so that does work.
Yeah, he
that
was.
does happen, man.
He was lifting at 13.
Yeah, that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
He started doing equipoise at 16, blew up on that.
God damn, really?
Yeah.
Down here you lived?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then when I got him on tests and D-ball, look out. He got up to 300 pounds so fast, repping 5 plates on a bench.
Rep. Remember when he was doing the close grips and it slid out of his hands and he crushed his sternum?
Blood started coming out of his mouth.
You never heard that story?
Yeah.
You heard it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, he was close gripping 505 and he used to put his hands like this. He didn't wrap,
The
so he put them
suicide
this
grip.
way.
Yeah.
Most of us
Me
do
and
that.
this other guy, the guy that was the black guy that tried out for the Dolphins,
Yes.
was spotting him. And he got scared.
Yeah,
he left the
'cause-
seat.
yeah, 'cause
he
it's-
thought he hurt him.
Yes. And it was on the first rep. It slid right out of his hands. And it bounced off his chest. And everyone grabbed it and put it back on the rack. And but I told him, remember I said, just stay the fuck there. Lay down. Don't move. Because then the ambulance came in. They put him on a board. Because I saw that blood come out of his mouth. I'm like, oh my God. He might have put a
That
rib
would've-
to his
that would've-
fucking heart or something.
That would have killed an average person.
Killed.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God he was so thick. That would have, what was the word? Decapitate? Would have cut somebody right in half.
Thank God it didn't fall in his mouth. I saw a guy in Pennsylvania drop $2.95 on his teeth. And it looked like someone cooked a can of corn and put ketchup on it.
Wow.
So he gets up, half his face was gone.
Well, you broke your leg one time. What'd you do to your leg in the leg?
Well, I
When
tore
you
the,
got stuck, I was
the
laughing my
doctor-
ass off because I couldn't get you out of there.
Yeah, I saw the doctor on it, and that was embarrassing.
I was embarrassed. I thought it was funny as shit. We had about 40 fucking plates on, and you got stuck in the machine. I'm like, dude, I got to get Vaseline to get this motherfucker out of here. Put him in with a shoehorn. Now you got to get him out with Vaseline.
I actually liked that because the first time Sherry Lee gave me some attention.
Yeah.
She was hovering
Oh,
about
you lucky. You did it on
wearing
purpose
those-
then. You did it on
I don't know
purpose, you
about that, black
motherfucker.
tights.
Oh,
But I
gotcha.
was so intimidated by her. I remember doing seated calf, and I'm doing them. She's grabbing the prong like a dick and pushing it down and like playing with me. I didn't know what to do.
Hold on. No guy would have known what to do.
Yeah.
I mean, she was intimidating. She was so pretty. And she had a great body.
Oh,
God.
I never saw an ass on a white girl back then. Like,
Hold on. She was amazing. And she was sweet as shit.
Yeah.
She was the sweetest person, man.
beautiful face, teeth, gorgeous.
Pamela Anderson.
Better looking.
Better looking than Pamela Anderson
Yeah,
at the
what's
time.
up?
But imagine seeing a built like that Pamela Anderson. She was intimidating.
And I have to give him credit. George Johnson created her.
And George Johnson dated her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Lou date her?
Yeah.
Lou dated Sherry Lynn?
Yeah,
How did that happen?
he actually told me because he was
Is
a
this
lady.
the truth? I'm fact-checking this
He used to
motherfucker.
laugh at us. He said, he goes, "What are you?
Somebody
afraid-
get your phone, Rob.
Because what are you intimidated by Sherry Lee for? She's just a regular girl. He says they went to a Red Hot Chili Pepper concert in West Palm, and she wasn't paying attention, and he says, "Guess what? Find your own ride home." And she told him, "You're acting like a child." He goes, "Well, fuck you. Get your own ride."
Really?
Yeah.
I was so I had a great relationship with her, and at the time I was dating Michelle, and Michelle was built like her.
Yeah.
My girl was red-haired, green-eyed, same kind
All
of
his girls had the perfect ass.
craze.
Come on,
Big,
say it.
like she was in Playboy and everything. So I always thought like she would say, "Your girl is so beautiful, Larry." This and I was like, "Oh my God, she's a lesbian too, right?" But she never was. But I always thought she was hitting on Michelle. I was getting no play.
Nice.
She's using me for my girlfriend. I hate when that happens. Yeah, she was hot. I liked her though, man. There was a lot of good people in that gym. Remember Jose? He died.
Yeah.
Died,
yeah.
man. What a good dude. Did you like him? A lot of people
Yeah.
hated him.
No, I didn't have a problem with him.
Yeah, but you didn't
remember
talk to
those two
anybody. You liked
lesbians.
everybody.
Remember those two lesbian chicks, middle age? They stabbed each other to death.
Come on.
Yeah, the one that used to wear a fuck butch shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, they stabbed each other in a nasty, violent lesbian fight because they were
Wow.
almost married. I don't think it's legal then, but yeah,
Oh my God.
cut each other to pieces.
A nasty violent.
Remember the other
lesbian
blonde that
fight.
used to come there with her husband, the real pretty one? I forgot her name. She was in magazines and
She used to do the acrobatics.
she was beautiful. Another beautiful one.
Yeah.
She used to walk in the gym. Everyone thought she was a snot nose because she was so pretty, and she had a strut.
Yeah,
You know, she had
yeah,
a strut.
yeah, yeah.
And she did porn and everything. I
Yeah.
think she did a lot of soft porn. Yeah, yeah. Her husband, she I don't know what happened. They were a cool couple. I went to their house. I think they were swingers because I had to deal with all these fucking people that were swingers. It's fucking horrible.
So did we. Me and Lenny were security at Trapeze for a while.
Oh, have fun there, right? A lot of fucking normality there, right?
Working there was fun, yeah.
Picked up a lot of bad habits there, tell
Yeah,
you what.
no shit. Well, listen, if you're married to a woman and you're gonna like share her, you deserve what a fucking.
I tell you what, there was an Italian guy, ex-cop, alpha male type, would bring his blonde and it was gorgeous, and he'd bring her into their interest for black guys.
Oh, how beautiful!
And watch.
Well, and they talk about systemic racism.
Yeah.
Where's that? Now
Yeah,
it's your systemic
tell me.
racism.
And
I'm sharing my wife with these guys.
A lot of white guys, older white guys. It's my wife's birthday. Is there any bulls in here? I said, what's a bull?
Yeah.
You know, a black guy. Because I want to give her a little birthday present. I got plenty in here.
Good relationship.
That's sick.
And you were the maitre d'.
We had to watch it. And plus, the torture us, they had porn on every screen. It's like, I didn't want to have sex for a week after that. It was so disgusting.
Yeah. Well,
5 hours of that, totally naked. There's a lot of guys from the old World Gym, too, that
Oh, no, you see, that's the thing. You don't know who is and who's not. You know, I could say a bunch of names right now, but I'll never say it. But, man, and you know every one of them.
You said one of them earlier.
Yeah, damn right. and I always, I always had a beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah.
But if you touched her, I'd shove all your limbs right up your ass. You could have sex with yourself.
That's how Rob was, too.
Yeah, I'm the same
never-
way. I don't believe in that. I think
No.
If you love somebody, how not
Talk
to be
about
like this religious
degeneracy.
fucking tell right that we're a bunch of Christians over here, but who would do that? I mean, honestly, in a right mind, nothing to maybe you're all fucked up in the head, but
At the end of the night,
Who would wear fishnets and blow a black guy wearing a wig? I mean, there's
there you go.
there's degenerates out there.
Everyone has a bad day. We've all had. I've never had that day.
Speaking,
Is that a Freudian slip, Larry?
No,
It said
never had
day,
that
not
day.
night.
Yeah, right.
tell us about the fishnets from the arrest.
Did it leave marks on your legs for a while? Because I dressed up as a girl one time for Halloween.
No, what happened? What
I
happened
looked
was
like a fucking checkerboard. For
I
about
was
a
down
year.
at the because I'm living off 10th. I was down at the Bamboo Room, which is an all black.
Yeah, sure.
And the waitresses have fishnets on, this and that. And I told this one girl, this awesome body, I said, I'm going to call you the fishnet goddess. She says, I want to see you wear some next week. I said, I will. So I got some. She went to men's room with me. I pulled my pants down, and I was on a Molly, and I guess another girl called me, a black girl in Delray, wanted me to come over, and she moved. So I'm trying to find her house, and I got pulled over. And of course, they found I was like a big mouth. Told them I had it, which you shouldn't have said. And then they took me to jail. I'm thinking, oh shit, the guy got to do a body cavity search.
Oh no,
So I
with the
told
fishnets
guy-
on.
Says the guy's like, oh
Are you? This is a true story.
shit. Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately.
this is like Lou with what's her name. I'm not believing this shit.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Oh.
But yeah,
You had to do a
Why-
strip
why
search
would you
with your
lie about
fucking fishnets on?
yeah. When I came down, I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot I had these on." I told him. And
How'd you forget? He hurt those fucking things. I wore them for Halloween.
Well, I got-
He was high. He was,
It was you weren't for Allie, so did I.
yeah, for
There's something in
fucking way,
common.
yeah. Plus my, got caught in one of the fucking, almost got got my shit cut off. I went dancing with him. I'm like, oh no, I'm bleeding.
Oh my God. You went out to a public place in this?
Yeah, I dressed up as a girl with one breast.
You got more balls than me.
Oh, dude, I had a mustache and fucking hair. Shit.
So I just told the guys, I don't know why I have these on. He's like, okay.
I don't know
Took a pair of
why I
scissors,
have these
cut
on.
them off, threw it in the garbage.
Oh,
He goes, I've seen worse. I said, really?
no, yeah, you got it. You're right.
Does he know you could have signed those and sold them?
True. I wasn't thinking. I was under the
And we're looking for that memorabilia, everyone.
Yeah.
It's like the wrestlers that sell their memorabilia. We're looking for the fishnet stockings.
Yeah.
But it was all, I wasn't in my right mind. Because once I started doing that, I would do anything.
What was the worst thing you saw when you were in line?
Just 140 guys in a big room.
Yeah, it's packed.
And why do they have to have a small railing on the second floor? I asked the correction officer, how many guys get tossed over here?
Yeah.
And he looked at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they almost want it to happen. But thank God, being big, they basically kiss your rear end the whole time.
I was in, I did a prison stunt in L.A. I did in Chino. First they put
Oh,
me...
so you had Crips and Bloods,
Oh,
Bob.
hold on. I got it. So what happens, I went from the glass house in L.A. County. They kept me there for about 3 or 4 months till what happened is that I had a warrant for something. I forget, assault warrant. And I didn't go to the court, and I was bodyguard at that time, traveling everywhere. So when I came back, the person that I assaulted saw me in a club and called the cops. So they all showed up, guns out, pulled me in, and brought me into the prison. I stayed at Gun Club, county jail in L.A. County, which is, they call it the glass house. Thank God a lot of the guys worked at a World's Gym who were officers there because I didn't get treated that bad. They put me in like a trustee, they made me. So a trustee has a little bit more. I have your own cell. I was actually handing out the pills for pharmacy. That's to a trustee to the Menendez brothers. I'd go downstairs, give them to the Menendez
Eric and
brothers.
Lyle?
Yeah, no shit. And then this guy Keating, who was this huge investment banker that just went away for 12.
Tom Keating.
Yes. I had to give them their pills because so they have a certain line, and if they're in solitary, they were in solitary. So what happened is that I was in LA. Judge hated me because I was, trying to be like a celebrity bodyguard or whatever, but I was stupid, a kid. And he sent me to Chino to be held until my trial. I never fucking experienced anything like that in my life. Let me tell you something. You want to be humbled? You got essays, Crips, and the Bloods of the minority. And then you have the Aryan, and then just the white guys looking to fucking join a gang, which nobody wants, So our dorms were a quad, so there'd be the guards all in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4 systems, 60 beds down here, and on the top end, 30 beds in one quad. And you have 4 of them, and all the guards are going to see. So I was on the bottom quad, and I witnessed, guys getting their throats cut on the fucking line, and, I was terrified because I was such a big kid, but I was a white guy, and I was, a minority, and I wasn't part of a gang.
Yeah, you were a target.
I was a target.
Yeah.
I really was a target.
So you're too dark for the Aryan Nation, I guess.
You know what happened? So this is what happens, bro. It was a crazy day. So again, I'm trying to mind my own business. One day it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm on my bunk. I have all my stuff laid out, all my toiletries, because I just took a shower. I'm in a towel and getting ready to bunk down. And these 3 black guys come in, and you knew they were in transit for a while because they were chalky. They were very, dried skin and everything like that. So they came over to my bunk and asked me, didn't ask me. They said, "What's?" I said, "Guys, and when a new prisoner comes in, you have to be, you help them because until they get shit to manage themselves, you volunteer." So I said, "What do you guys need? You need some moisturizer? You need toothpaste or anything like that?" So the one guy says to me, "Nah, we don't need nothing, man. We're just taking all your shit." And I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go." So I knew right then it was on. And I didn't know at the time, but there were 3 Bloods. So what happened is that I had one in front of me doing all the talking, one behind me over here, and one here. So what happened is that the one in front of me, I could see him ready to launch. So he stepped to me. He stepped right into my right hand. I literally fractured both orbital bones, broke his nose and his jaw one shot. My hands are that fucking big.
Yeah.
Hit him, and I'm a monster. And I go backwards and hit the next guy in the elbow right in his forehead. Knock him right the fuck out. And the other one runs. I run. My fucking towel falls off. I'm running after this dude naked. Right? I dive and grab his ankle. There's a blood. This kid's fast. I'm a fucking, 30-some-odd-year-old fucking man. I grab his ankle, turn him over, and just beat the fuck out of him. Just started hitting him with the bed, some guy's bed and everything. Cops come in, squad, the, what do they call it, the special unit they have. Sirens. I go up against the wall, grab the towel, put myself against the wall. Put my hands against the wall. Cops come in, hit me in the back of the fucking leg with a baton. Right? Hit me in the leg like a dick. I don't move. Then I realize what I just did. Now they're going to fucking light me the fuck up, right? Because they don't know who's wrong, who's right. It looks like I beat up 3 guys for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Now they hit me. I'm on the ground. I'm in a fetal position. I'm taking a beating. They put me in 2 days in solitary confinement. This is why you don't get in trouble out there. Put me in 2 days in solitary confinement in a room, naked, on a metal bed with air conditioner blowing for 2 days. Food coming under the, in the slump.
No pad, cushion.
No, a metal bed, no pillow, no nothing for 2 days.
Jesus.
Then they come and get me, and they bring me in. I have to meet some social director, whatever they call him. We heard what happened. We heard you were assaulted, and we read your PSI, which means that they know my background. We understand you're a tough kid, and we understand what happened. And I was like, okay, thank you. So they let me go back into population. When I went back into population, now I'm really shitting on myself because I just beat up 3 Bloods. Right? I'm there that same day. I'm doing chin-ups in the bathroom on the toilet, like the stalls are at the bar. So I'm doing chin-ups, trying to keep myself in shape. And this dude comes up to me, 5'6", wide as hell, black kid. And I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Larry, come here. We want to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get killed today. Today's the day I'm going to get killed, right?" So I go over and talk with him with a bunch of other guys, and his name is Compton. He's the head of the Crips in the jail and was the head of the Crips on the outside. He had across his chest Compton put in his body with a razor. So he cut a tattoo in his body, said Compton. That was his name. And he says, "Larry, listen, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, can I train with you and keep in shape with you?" I said, "Yes." That's number 1. And he goes, "Number 2, he goes, do you mind if we watch over you? Because what you did, there were Bloods with Crips." And he goes, "You did the right thing." And he goes, "Can we watch over you?" And I was like, yes again. Those are 2 yeses. So I had them with me. They watched over me. They introduced me to the SA, the guy who ran the essays. And before you know it, I was totally protected, but still shitting on myself because I always had to be surrounded by somebody because you can get attacked. I used to call my mother every night like the biggest pussy. like, act off. Hey, it's Larry. Hey, Larry. Like, Mom, get me the fuck out of here. Please get a lawyer. Get me out. They got me out. They dropped the charges because the kid I assaulted was a felon. He missed the case. Long and short of it, they dropped the charges and they let me out after about 6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Jesus
6 months.
Christ.
So I had that experience. It was amazing.
Did they give you like a cool crip name?
No, but
Gang
you
name?
know what happened though? But now you remind me. When I gave Compton my mom's phone number to tell her where I'd be, they're bringing me back to LA County Jail and releasing me. They released me at 4 a.m, from all the transiting because Chino's up in the mountains. Scared. It's the worst jail in the country by far. So, and I had to fucking stay there. Imagine. So what happens is that I tell Compton to call my mom to tell her where to go because when we found out, I had nowhere to tell her. We only can make phone calls a certain part of the day. He called my mom that night, told her where to go. My mom picks me up. She goes, Larry, I knew where to go because that nice boy Compton called us and he said he loved you and he really, really liked hanging out and he started talking to me. What a nice boy. I'm like, Ma, let's just leave it at that. I'm not even going to go into this story, but can you imagine that shit?
Hey, while you were at the Glass House, you mentioned those two brothers. Was Michael Francese in there at that time?
What, do you have friends back there? I mean, how would you know people? That was a long time ago.
No, you mentioned those two famous brothers that were in the Glass House.
The Menendez brothers. That was a long time ago, bro. How old are you? Because that was in the 90s.
I watched that whole trial. I remember that.
It was horrible. They accused them of raping the father. That's full of shit. They shotgunned. They shotgunned their on the money.
Going to the basketball game after killing him?
Yeah. They had Rolexes. They went everywhere. No. It was a long time. No. What? Who was that? A guy from Connecticut?
No. Michael Francese. He was like a Columbo guy. Now he's on YouTube and
oh
tells
no.
all types of
I didn't know.
stories.
Let me tell you something. I'll be honest with you. I don't know many. I know when we grew up, the gangsters loved me. I had people like a friend of ours. His name is Charlie, and they took care of me. They protected me because they didn't want. I was.
That was Charlie the bodybuilder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And he was dangerous. And I'll just leave it at that. So so they protected me. I was so lucky.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see me get involved. They didn't want to see me go with my education, be an athlete. So I got very lucky with these guys. But again, I was blessed. I was blessed because it could have been the other way. They could have took me in and maybe be a part of them.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah, making the king. Like, look at this guy,
No,
Better
it
some
is.
of them fat slob bodyguards.
Oh
we've seen.
no,
Yeah.
it's exactly. You're absolutely right, Len.
How's,
Go ahead.
go on. How's Charlie doing physically these days? He's got to be over 70.
Well, he was the best bodybuilder over 60 for years. He looked fucking
Remember
nuts.
seeing him at
man.
Boca at that gym Brad referred to earlier.
Yeah, he was
Veins
phenomenal.
everywhere. Leg
Everywhere.
pressing the whole staff.
He gave me my first hernia. He came training with me at level 5. We did his leg routine. I got a hernia.
Where your groin?
Yeah, right here. This side.
Yeah, he
So,
decided to go on everything in his 60s.
Oh, he looked nuts. And he hated bodybuilding. He was a powerlifter. He had arms that were like 23 inches his whole life. So his nickname, a.k.a. Charlie Arms. But he was just amazing. But he was terrifying. He would go in the gym where we train, East Coast Fitness, where we all grew up. He'd throw the fucking owners out. He'd throw the fucking owners out. I mean, they would... I remember one time, they shut the lights off because they weren't putting the weights away. Charlie was in the sunbed. So he got so pissed off, he turned all the fucking lights out and threw the fucking owners out. Threw the owners out. And then when I would come in, I was like his little prodigy, and I would walk, hey, Larry, he goes, here, take some T-shirt. He's behind the counter. He makes me a smoothie. He gives me some T-shirt for free. I'm like this. I'm like, to the owners, I'm sorry, man. And they wouldn't say a fucking word. I'd leave out. It was like Santa Claus every day when I see him. He was terrifying. He scared us all, man. You didn't even know if he had a body in his trunk when he came to the gym. You didn't even know. Fuck, he was scary.
Reminds me of somebody that never opens their trunk, ever.
It was all right.
Ever. I don't know. You could open it one day on film, right?
One day in the far, far future.
I still have that Bond gas mask. You can wear it when you do it. Maybe it'll protect. Larry, would you come on again? Because it's about that time for us to start
Oh,
wrapping
man,
up.
please. I'd love hanging out with you. Seeing you guys
Thanks,
again.
man.
Honestly, this was one of the most fascinating podcasts
Absolutely.
that I've ever been on, and the ones I watch on the internet.
Really?
Much better. I like the authenticity, and I like the good character as far as
Yeah, it's better than the
Drug-free.
ooey and gooey bullshit
and then
nonsense.
doing what we
talk.
all aspire not to do, not to hate anybody.
No, you're right. My partner calls me Forrest Gump for all my stories. That's what he calls me.
They wouldn't have called
I've
you
been
that
lucky.
back in the
What do
day.
you say? One day at LA Fitness, I film you three working out for your channel.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be fun as
You
hell.
good?
Yeah.
Everyone's in? Okay, let me
Yeah.
know.
And I hope,
Monday or Thursday.
Yeah.
and I hope the show gets a lot of views. And
What's
anything
it-
I can do to help, you know me.
Podcast
Man.
gets more. The podcast, like on the website, how many views? It gets a lot, right? Oh.
Our
At one
guy is
point
in
it was-
the UK who runs that, so I got.
At one point, I remember it was like 100,000 listens in a certain amount of time.
Well, I think we could break that. We only touched on a couple of stories. We got a lot more. We got a lot of more.
You guys always train at the same time? What time do you go there?
I go at like 5:30.
Yeah, that's when they
Sometimes
go,
we're there.
yeah.
Sometimes we go to Wellington.
Yeah,
We're
they
getting
move
the
around.
treatments.
They move around. They move around. The one in Lantana.
I like that Lantana one. They have that.
Me too.
They have that trap bar. It's spaced out nice in there.
It is.
Too. Yeah.
It is. You know, it gets a little tense in there because people don't put their weights away. That's the worst one ever.
Yeah, these younger kids.
They
I
don't put
noticed.
their weights
Well, when I would go there before work on my because I live up in West Palm. I would come down.
Oh, cool.
Go there and then go.
Then
to
on my
work
way home.
in the morning. Yeah.
Well, all you guys out there, do yourselves a favor. Put your weights away.
no, they don't.
I mean, honestly, do
Well,
yourself
to
a
get
favor.
big Richard back in action.
Because
That's the problem.
he used
That
to
there's
take care of that.
there's nobody that works at the gym to go around and police it.
Yeah.
You gotta,
But I don't think
the
you really
members
mean.
have to.
I don't think there's a guy who owns Rock Fitness up in West Palm. He owns Rock Fitness, and he has professional athletes funding him now, building gyms. He's one of my greatest friends, Rock. And his gyms, you can eat in his bathroom on the floor. You don't put your weight away, he'll be in your ass.
Yes, that's great.
And that's the way. He has his desk at the front. He watches everything. Everything is where it's supposed to be. And that's what. Just be courteous, man. You know.
Yeah,
Just
they
be
got a problem with
courteous.
that dumbbell rack
At our place.
Every
You can't
LA
find
Fitness.
nothing.
Every one of them's like that.
No,
Yeah.
It's funny. Is in Connecticut, I've never seen that at any gym.
Yeah.
Where there's when I came down here to Delray, LA, the first time, and the dumbbells all over the floor, I've never seen that.
Oh no, you know, and I've never seen it myself. And it's so disrespectful, and it causes tension in the gym. It causes a lot of tension in the gym because guys get pissed at other people, and then there was almost a fight there. I was there Saturday, and it was one of my good friends who's a federal officer and a fucking Florida cop for 16 years almost went at it because they had no room. Dumbbells are there. One's in front of the other guy. They start talking before you know it. They were enraged, and the cop said it goes, it creates a lot of tension. You know, I'm walking out the door. These guys are going outside to fight. I'm like, I'm with them, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Two cops.
Yeah.
And then you see a
I
guy
grab one, I'm
train,
going to jail.
guys training, grabbing 5 sets of dumbbells, putting them on their bench.
I hate that more than
What the hell is that all
it's
about?
No, I hate that. Who wrote that workout out?
That didn't happen back in the
Who
day.
wrote that workout?
I don't know.
You know, the best workout, you know how you get around that? Jay Cutler showed me. It's called 12-10-8s. You do a set of 12, say you're doing lat pull down, or say curls. Set of 12, you wait 8 seconds with the same weight. Set of 10, you wait 8 to 10 seconds, a set of 8. That's 30 reps with the same weight with barely any time in between. 12-10-8s. That's like supersetting with dumbbells. And the pump you get and the strength you get, he was so right. I did it for a month. It was amazing. My weights went through the roof. Jay Cutler.
intense.
Yeah, it's intense. Good time, man.
Well, thanks for
you
coming
so-
over, Larry.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
man.
coming on, Larry.
It was great.
Please,
It's
thank
good
you. It's my
to change it up from the normal nonsense.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We'll do it again, Larry.
nonsense.
Thank you for